Hello and happy new year to you all. Welcome to the Drop Frames Game of the Year show for 2022. We're on a tight schedule today, guys. We got to cram an entire Game of the Year show in 2 hours and 56 minutes. Zeke, I'm going to tell you now.
Okay.
No breaks on this train.
Okay.
No breaks. So you do you if you got to go do the do.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
And we'll keep doing you.
Yeah, and we'll keep doing us. We're not going to we're not going to yeah. Yep.
Let me just hold on. Let me just drop this real quick. There we go. And boom. 100.
Oh,
For
I
you,
thought
JP.
I was looking for an audio.
And boom, 102 for you there.
Boom.
Ooh, nice,
Carnage.
man.
The
Very
old 100
nice.
monther.
Yep.
We don't have. You just get a thing in JPD on my. You can't control me, Zeke. I'm not playing a game.
Hey, listen, I do not blame you.
Okay. I will
do not
control you
blame
though later this year. I think because I don't know what month it is, but the 100-month sub is coming. I think for both me and Co. We're both close.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's very close, if not, upon us already.
I think Co's closer. His might be like
Look
next
here.
month. I forget exactly how close he is. Yeah.
No, it was 99. Last time Co resubbed, it was 99.
Oh, so he might be go time. It might be ready.
Yep.
It might be go time,
It might be go time. Yeah.
which is very slow.
Well, hey, we are on a tight schedule. So let's get started. What, are you at 100?
I'm at 102.
Oh,
You are? Sheesh.
Looks like it.
There it is.
Damn.
Boosh.
maybe
Okay,
I'm at,
bada
Let's
boom.
add you to the big board then.
I got to see where I'm at now. I'm curious.
Carnage. There
I'm at
you
96. I got 4 more months. So April.
Okay.
April.
Oh, 8 years, buddy.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how long I think we've been doing this silly show called the Drop Frames. I do have some attributions to read out before we get officially started. For the game box art and descriptions, IGB and IGB community are responsible for those. The logos are from Wikipedia, blah, 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 Creative Commons. The Game Awards logos and photography are from the Game Awards. Barry, what did you use from the Game Awards, I wonder? And then headshots are all from the official sources. Huge shout out to Barry and the mod team. By the way, they got all of the stuff done in like 2 weeks. Like they didn't know that this was going to be built at the start of December, and they built the entire system and got it running. We had 3,070 voters, which is pretty impressive for a 2-week
That's
lead.
A lot.
There was 32,565 votes cast over 354 games for all the categories. So huge shout out to the community, to Barry and the mods for coming together and getting all that stuff
Great job, y'all.
up and running. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to swap over to this and we're locked in. I feel like we should have this is where the lights dim and the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music begins. If we were, yes. Yeah. Now, for the sake of time, do we want to show our categories all 3 at once and then discuss them? Or do you just want to go one by one? Because I think we'd be able to clear 3 hours for the full show that way rather than going one by one.
I'm totally down for that.
Okay. Does that work for you? Zeke, you look perplexed on that.
Totally fine.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no. I was perplexed about something else. I'm frequently perplexed by weird things.
Look, don't worry. I had to go and pull up my list because I don't know what I voted for.
I have mine right in front of me. That's
Stay
what I was
there.
looking
Yeah,
at.
I had to go open it. Go. Are you good? Do you have yours up?
I have mine up.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to advance and we're going to begin with favorite music. Now, I don't know.
Favorite music.
I wonder, do you think it's all different? I think mine's probably the like standard answer I would go with. Let's see what the community voted with first. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, community votes first. Let's see.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Solid selection.
Yeah, that's Elden Ring.
That was definitely, I'm sure, probably up there for, I would imagine it was up there for you guys. It was up there for me.
Yeah.
Pretty
was up
sure
there for
it
me.
was at least in the top 5, if not the top 3, that I had to eliminate.
Yeah.
and really think. Like, before we begin, I just want to say, like, I actually put like,
Oh, I know you took a day off.
no, I put like a lot of effort into this because I have a tendency to second guess myself and like fool myself into thinking I liked something more than I did because I should, because I'm supposed to,
Yeah.
you know, like you sit there and go like, everybody thinks this is the best music. So do I. Wait, no, you don't.
Sure.
No, you don't.
Yeah. I'm kind of I go whatever pops into my mind first is the answer. So that's where I didn't look at any suggestion. I was just like, boom, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Spend 5 seconds. Do I agree with myself? Yes. Let's go next. I don't want to sit there and like overthink it.
See, I do that, and then I forget like things that I played earlier in the year, and I I go to like a VOD or something like that. And I go, oh my God, that's right.
I did
Holy
have a
shit,
list
that
of all the
was-
games I played is the second guess a little bit.
Yep.
But all right, I'm
That's what I did.
gonna show everyone here. Let's see.
Go ahead.
I think you two voted for the same thing, and I think I was
Probably.
I stood with the community. Yep. Hey, I called that. I didn't play Metal Hellsinger, so it wasn't on my list at all. I played I think there was a demo for that I played, so I got one song.
Yep.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like, okay, God of War, Elden Ring, like, oh man, they have such wonderful, like, cinematic, like, really swelling and stuff like that. But what made me go like, fuck yeah, no question. It was it just was like, maybe the music is technically better, but I fucking rocked hard when I first played Metal Hellsinger.
For me, it's like, yeah, I kind of echo a lot of what Zeke said. It's the kind of thing where a lot of games had phenomenal music, amazing scores, but there was one game where I felt like I was going to a concert where the music was front and center, where it was not only fantastic music, but the way that it was done so seamlessly with the gameplay and how it was fully integrated into the game. Like, this game is 50% game, 50% heavy metal concert
Sure.
done well. All the music was good. They had tons of guest cameos and they were all like, you could tell their heart was in it. Like, it was very special. Metal Hellsinger is very special for metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I
And
enjoyed
there
the
was
demo
there were
aspect.
some honorable mentions, like Neon White had a fucking phenomenal soundtrack. There was this little indie game called 10 that had a really great soundtrack, but like this one hit me in a place that was like early 90s, like when I first discovered like
Spoke to your roots.
fucking Metallica Black Album. Like, I know like that's a commercial favorite, you know, for true metalheads. That's just like, oh, it's like Green Day for punk rock. But like that was my first foray into metal because it actually reached me. You know, it was popular enough to reach me, and it reminded me of that feeling that, oh fuck yeah, metal is really cool, you know?
Yeah. For me, with Elden Ring, the music is always exactly what it needs to be for the moment. Right? Like, if you're just walking around, it's very like calm, quiet, serene, a sense of like eeriness. Then you hit a boss, the music fucking ramps up. The title track, I think, is it's like a meme at this point with the Elden Ring shit. And it's just got like some of the best dramatic, operatic, crazy boss fight music of the year for me. And I'll always remember just like walking around and hearing that like very faint song playing as you're just journeying across the world in like a weird moment. Or an eeriness just always around you. I think it really just added to that entire experience. So that's why I got my vote. What is next? I have no idea what order Barry put these in, so this is all news to me. That's favorite music. Favorite sound design. Okay, that makes a lot of sense moving forward here. Any ideas what you guys think the community voted for?
Elden Ring.
You think Elden Ring?
I mean, it could be like a lot of different things. Like, it could be like Call of Duty, like for the sound of the guns and the bombs and everything, that kind of stuff. Because that's what sound design is. It's Foley. It's everything but music.
Yeah.
That's true. But Elden Ring.
It is Elden Ring. Barry just said in my chat the community order is a surprise. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought you were saying the result. I'm going to show it. Here we go. What do we got? Oh, okay. God of War.
That works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That makes sense. Let's go back over here. Let's show what we all voted for. 3, 2. I think I'm just going to match with the community for the rest of the show. Okay. Really? The Callisto Protocol?
Yep.
Really?
Honestly, I didn't play it.
Honestly,
I didn't either.
Shied away from it.
Honestly, probably the best part of the game. I constantly caught myself being immersed in the sounds, the types of sounds, the timing of the sounds. Like it was one of the more immersive horror soundscapes that I've ever seen, and honestly is one of the best parts of the game. I thought it was phenomenal. And I caught myself many times being like, oh man, this is like, I just hear those sounds like many times throughout the game. And I just didn't do that in any other games. There were no other games when it was that immersive, that much. And I wish the rest of the game could have been up to the quality level of sound.
Yeah.
Because the sound design nailed it. All the guns sounded awesome. Like you take a gun out, like all the little clicking, and it was cool. It was cool. So many different death sounds.
Yeah. Zeke for God of War. I think I mean like it's just
Listen, it's all about. Oh, go ahead, Co. You want?
I was going to say not to spoil it. This is the only time we're going to see this game the whole time. So enjoy it.
Okay, fair,
Enjoy
fair.
Maybe, yeah. No, thinking about sound design, thinking about is something that I associate the word satisfaction with. Like, what sounds like a satisfying sound? Like, what sounds like a real ass sound? And there were just so many examples in God of War of just little minor things, but that sounded perfect. Every time that axe came back, thunk.
Still.
Oh, that felt good. Sounded good.
Yeah.
Every time you climbed a chain, like something as little as climbing a chain, and you hear the little like clink clink, but it's not like a clink of a small chain. It's like they took a big ass boat chain and like shook it in front of a fucking microphone so it sounded right.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. Like those little tiny touches are just made God of War's sound design just far and away like my favorite.
Yeah, I think for the best way that I can describe it is like God of War is a AAA game, and you could tell that they had like not unlimited funds, but unlimited funds when it came to just making the sound right for everything in that game. Like I can't like backseating aside, I think that's an easy joke for the whole like backseating of the NPCs being a part of the sound design, blah blah blah, but everything else was just, it sounded as it should, Zeke. You nailed it in the sense that, like, it described the epicness of whatever was occurring through the audio of the game. And that's why I think it was also the best.
Real quick, if I had not picked Callisto, it was actually a hard decision between this and another game that wasn't up here. Just an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, same thing.
The sounds in that game are otherworldly awesome. Like all the different sounds they came up with for the different machines and like how well they're done, and some of the large ones are like echoing kind of massive scale of the sounds that those things make, like completely next level.
Yeah.
If I had not picked Callisto, it would have been Horizon.
I think Horizon was definitely up there as well for like honorable mention, I guess, if you want to include it. So it was good stuff. Zeke, did you have an honorable mention for this, or was it just God of War right out of the gate? No questions asked.
No, Horizon was definitely in the running, and Elden Ring was in the running as well.
Yeah.
But it feels weird to say that, playing as many indies as I did and shit like that. But like sound design is one of those things that is something like icing. It's you get the like there's like the 100 things that you have to get to make a game, right?
Yeah.
And the first like few things are the core things you have to concentrate on, and that's a lot of times what like indie games like they have to concentrate on those few things. And sound design, good sound design or intricate or whatever sound design has to be, like pushed back a little bit because the core things have to be there first. So that's why AAA games a lot of times get the sound design for me personally, because they have the money to like explore that and make it work right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, so Elden Ring and Forbidden West for sure.
Yeah. Well said. Next category, favorite character. Okay, this one I have no idea. Now, I don't think the community probably has a game. I don't think they did characters unless there was freeform stuff. I'm not sure how it was handled.
I
So
would say God of War for them.
I would probably think God of War. Yeah, let's see what they voted for.
Yeah, Kratos.
Yeah. So it was probably Kratos. Could have been Ratatoskr, the squirrel.
Ratatoskr. Yeah.
It's a Tosca, yeah.
Yeah, Ratatoskr.
Really? Okay, really. So I wasn't alone in thinking that Ratatasker was fucking awesome.
Oh, he was
Great.
incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Pro ZD was fantastic.
Brock, of course.
Yeah, Brock, Freya. I mean, they're standout characters. Still haven't done the final quest, by the way. I gotta get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, is Odin. Odin might have been maybe the most conflicted favorite character of the year.
Yeah.
He was a love him or hate him kind of thing.
Yeah. But God of War makes sense. I don't know what you guys voted for here. I think these are going to be individual characters.
I would give either of you $20 if you guessed mine.
No one's going to guess mine.
Hold on.
I will
Yeah,
give
okay,
you
that's right.
100 subs if you guess mine.
Zeke, you want to take a
You
guess?
have one guess.
100 subs if I guess Ko's favorite character in a video
Game
game.
in which my favorite
for
characters
this year.
are. For this year.
I'm going to say, God, I'm trying to think of all the games you played that came out in 2022 or 2022.
I have my guess if you want to say it at the same time, Zeke, so I don't.
No, go ahead. I don't have a guess. I really don't.
Okay, my guess, off the wall, complete. I'm going to go with Silas from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ooh, good guess. Not it. But good
Okay,
guess.
I have no
guess.
idea.
I didn't pick a specific character, but it's. I think it's implied.
Oh.
I'm gonna say one of the rats from Plague Tale.
All right.
Very close, but no, that's not it.
All right, I'm going to reveal Ko's, and then we'll do me and Zeke at the same time. Ko's favorite character of 2022. Oh, okay, that makes
Guybrush?
sense.
Guybrush Threepwood Man. It was
okay.
It was
If I would have thought harder, I might have come up with that.
good. It was so good for me to get back with him, and the game itself is so well done. I mean, it is an incredible feat for the devs to have been able to bring that character back in a way that was not only entertaining but didn't feel tired out. It was meaningful in the way they did it. Like it was incredibly impressive, and it was great to adventure with him again.
That makes sense. Zeke, is yours? Mine's the same thing. I don't think you would ever.
Mine,
guess it.
you guys didn't play it, you wouldn't know it, but
Okay, well then let's do this.
It was a standout for me.
Let's do this one by one. Zeke, I'm going to reveal yours. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Zeke's favorite character was.
Wei Zhenglong as the underdog detective.
Oh, I would. Okay, wouldn't have guessed that.
This was an FMV game.
Nope.
With it was a really good, really well done, well shot FMV game that is actually based on a series in China. I think it's in China. Like a television series or a mini series or something like that. So they kind of had all the set pieces and stuff like that. And it was really fun because the main character of Underdog Detective was this like Aladdin kind of a guy, like just like a street rat, but he like raises himself up and he finds figures out what's going on in the underdog world and stuff like that. And it was just, he was charming, he was funny, he was badass at times. Like you couldn't help but really love the guy. And he did a very good job of performing it. And he was like, I went through, it was like Kratos. Okay, he was obviously he was great. And you went through all of the other characters and stuff like that. But this one held a special place because I just really liked the portrayal of this character a lot.
Yeah, Kratos was definitely honorable mention for me. I think character arc wise and story wise for him, just an incredible thing to see happen. The fact that we were all pressing square to have an orgy with him 10 years ago. And then this year he made pretty much everyone cry. Yeah, That's kind of a crazy character. But for me, it was the character that they took what popular culture had already deemed as like basically Wesley Snipes, and then made him just a giant simp. And every time he was on screen, I was just laughing, hilarious, just nonstop. It's Blade from Midnight Suns. If you've played the game, you know why. If you've never played Midnight Suns and you're a fan of Blade, you should maybe play Midnight Suns and join his book club, because it's fucking stupid. And it's really dumb and great. Hashtag Blade cares. Hashtag Blade tweets. Let's go on to the next thing. Those are all things.
I have it. I bought it, and I still haven't played it yet because I'm still doing that stupid fucking Mistlands bullshit.
Look, it's a 90-hour game. I don't blame
I forgot how long it takes to get through all that Valheim bullshit.
Midnight Suns 90-hour game.
It's so much fun.
There's a lot
God.
There's a lot going on. Next category. Favorite voice acting. Okay, I'm comfortable revealing all three of ours at the same time because I think we're kind of gonna do all the same thing here. Oh no, we all went completely different. Okay. I went with Christopher Judge. Who from Forbidden West specifically, Co? Was it Aloy?
Here's the thing. My favorite voice acting was not again, like with a lot of, I'm gonna be blunt, with a lot of the categories this year I cheated. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
But I felt with favorite voice acting, the reason that I said that is because I feel like favorite voice acting is a category that conveys how well a character like moves their story from their character into the player's mind. And I felt like with Horizon Forbidden West, that's one of the first games I've played where I've actually seen like full body, like not only was the voice acting amazing, but all those subtle nonverbal cues that they absolutely nailed made it so it was like Horizon Forbidden West was almost in a category of its own in terms of how well its characters delivered their story to the player. It was so natural. It was so incredibly immersive. So I didn't really have a single character, but it was more the technology and the mechanisms behind the team that controlled that. They did such an amazing job that almost even the side characters you talk to rivaled some of the best voice actors in other projects.
That's very true.
Just because of the direction and the technology behind it. So that I kind of that was my package, was that one.
Yeah. Zeke, explain your pick. Justin Roiland. Didn't he play like everyone?
They always do. Like any game, any Justin Roiland game or product, like everybody plays a lot of different voices and shit. And I've been reading comments from chat and saying people like Roiland, it's literally just Morty again. And bro, not the Morty guy. Shit was mad overdone. Here's the thing. It's favorite, not best. I'm not here to tell you what the best is.
Favorite.
I'm here to tell you, like, I love Justin Roiland's like sense of humor, his stuttering, his improv. Like, there was a few times, don't get me wrong, there was a few times in the game when he way overdid the thing. When most people would have like moved on and cut off the conversation or left it, I sat there and through every single line of the conversation, I was like, bro, that went on too long. Okay, you belabored the point a little bit.
Yeah.
But most of it, I was rolling, laughing through the entire thing. Ridiculous. Like, how did this fucking bit make it into the game shit? You know, you're just sitting there watching
some of those commercials, dude.
You're just watching like, how the fuck did you not have something better than this? And that idea in and of itself made it funny. Like, made me laugh. Like, this garbage made it in hilarious. Good. And that's the thing. Like, yes, Christopher Judge, probably better. Like objectively better voice acting.
Sure.
God of War all the way around. Horizon all the way around. Objectively better voice acting. But my favorite, the jokes hit me. This is my sense of humor. And I love it. I love it.
Nice. Well, luckily,
nothing wrong with that. Very nice.
I DM'd Christopher Judge, and he sent us back a 9-minute acceptance speech. We're gonna watch it in full right here. He's very excited.
Let's do it.
Please not again. Please not again. It was very rough the first time. Let's not.
You're not
ever repeat that.
You can't
please.
do it here, Judge. You can't do it here. Yeah.
No. Oh my God! If Jeff Keighley is not already paying Christopher Judge to come to the next Game Awards and be
As
the
a
guy
goof.
that helps control speed. Like he walks out on stage with a sign, like wrap it up or something as people are going too long. He is losing out.
I
He is
agree.
losing out.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what the community voted for. I'm going to go. It could be Horizon. I think Horizon, God of War.
I think it's
I
God
think
of War.
God of War.
God of War.
Okay.
It has
Yeah.
to be.
God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, I thought about doing Let's Do It as my favorite, but I don't know if there's
That's a goof in itself, man. That's,
Well, I
that's
didn't want to put it on Barry to be like, hey, this is a joke, so can you put this up first and then put another thing up? I
He
didn't
would've
want to do
done
that. That's a shitty thing to do.
I mean,
for,
he made that
No.
dumb blade image for me, and he also made
fair
this
enough,
one.
Fair enough.
He had some fun with it. So yeah.
God of War by 1,200 votes.
Holy crap! Okay, that's
Not even close.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I feel like I'm going with all the safe picks so far. We'll see what happens with the rest. What's next? What do we got? Favorite moment. Okay, so this one, did you guys, because I have a specific moment. Did you, the two of you put a game, or did you have a
I put a
specific
game.
moment? Was it because of a
A game.
specific moment though? Or just
It was
all the
because
moments?
for me, it was because of many specific moments. Not
Okay.
like one of them, but like many of them.
I
throughout
put
the
one
game.
moment that stood out.
I went back and forth. I had like an actual moment from a game and then like a metaphorical moment from a game, if that makes sense.
Was your moment when Kratos looked at the back of the thing?
No. That
Oh,
was
wow.
an honorable mention.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I look,
would've
that
been
got me. That was an incredible moment for sure.
Yep.
But it was not. Let's see what the community probably put a game. Let's see what they got.
I think they have to.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with probably God of War, maybe. Let's see. No, Elden Ring. Okay.
Interesting. I would not have expected that. I would have guessed God of War.
I would have too.
Elden Ring had a lot of moments.
It did.
It did. Oh
Very
man,
true,
lots
very
of
true, very
moments.
true. It
Lots
did.
of good moments.
And that's why for me it was a metaphorical moment from Elden Ring, which is why that was my favorite moment of the year. I put
Elden Ring.
my specific thing was the 10th time you find a new unexplored area in Elden Ring. Because it really was the like opening the map and thinking like, wait, how far does this go? Wait, there's more. Wait, there's an entire. You go under. Wait, there's it. It's just nonstop. Like there's this. How big does it just nonstop? Every moment, every time you like finish something in that game, you just walk out and find something bigger, wider, more exploration, just nonstop. So that was kind of a metaphorical moment. Runners up for me was Kratos back of the thing. And then also the Kratos speech before the final fight. When the music swells, that was pretty fucking badass. Very, very close there. Zeke, let's go with yours. We'll do it one by one.
Yeah, well, my favorite moment is probably, I've talked about it before, but it's from God of War. And it's neither of those. It's
Okay.
when Fenrir's soul enters Garm in God of War. And I wept. Oh God, I cried like a fucking baby. Seriously, I'm sitting there in my bedroom and I'm just like, just tears right now. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
True.
I had to get my wife to hug me. I was so sad, or so happy,
So moved.
happy crying.
Yeah. Look, God of War had a ton of great moments. No doubt about it. Co?
Yeah.
Reveal?
Yeah. For me, I mean,
Yeah.
it was for me. It was kind of different, though. I mean, don't get me wrong; those scenes with the dog were incredible. But God of War was the one that hit me the most as a parent, no question. There were so many
Sure.
times in that where it was just like there were incredibly resonating moments between Kratos and Boy. That it was it was incredibly impactful, for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think there's like what? 10 incredible moments in that game that
Probably
we could
more.
rattle off.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really good.
For sure.
I think there was six tear-filled moments, going from like, misty-eyed to like full-on ugly cry
Mm,
for me. In that they got so good. It was just very well done.
for sure. Yeah. Great game. What's next? Favorite writing. I struggled with this one. I really did. Did you guys have a hard time, or did you know immediately what you wanted here for favorite writing?
I knew immediately.
This one was a struggle for me. Because my pick, I definitely had some issues with, even though it still won out. I think it also comes down to the fact that I didn't play that many games this year. Yeah. Co, was yours right off the top of your head?
Yeah. Mine pretty much was.
Okay. Let's see what the community voted. Favorite writing. God of War. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Fair.
Yeah, and for those asking in chat, writing has a lot of definitions. It's writing.
It
It's
does.
writing to you. So it could be writing like in terms of the story, or maybe the realism and immersiveness of the character stuff. Like, it means different things to different people.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to reveal them all at the same time.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's what I didn't expect God of War for Co. Expected Immortality for Zeke. Didn't play
There
it.
weren't any big RPGs out this year, man.
That was my issue. Like, I don't agree that this was the best written game of the year, but it was the best written game of the year.
It was the best written game of the year that we got. It was great. It was really good. It was not like, normally I like to have a bit more kind of like really deep, big meat in my games, but God of War was great. I enjoyed the narrative. I enjoyed the story. It was fun. The dialogue was good. The characters were fun. Like, the whole package was very good.
Yeah. I don't agree with some stuff that happens towards the end of that game. Go watch our spoiler cast. We spent some time talking about it. But like, for the most part, I enjoyed that they did what they did with Kratos, and I enjoyed that story and all of how they wrapped it up. Zeke, speak on Immortality a bit.
Immortality is an FMV game that is you watch 3 movies being made about with one specific main character, and you have to figure out what exactly is going on, what is the underlying mystery, and you pull on the thread by uncovering more clips, by searching like key things or clicking on key things in the scenes of the movie. Like, you fast forward, rewind, you go like, okay, that thing is silver. You click on it and it relates to another scene completely in another movie or whatever, another time period. And because it's either the same thing, or it's also silver, or they share something in common. But the writing inside of the mystery it's subtle. It's great. It feels genuine. It feels there's the acting schmacting thing about like the search for truth. Like, if you can find the truth of your character, then it everything you say comes out more like naturally, like organically. It feels like you're actually saying it rather than speaking lines and stuff like that. And I think they made it to an area of that in this game where it felt like they were speaking like truths, not only in the movies, but like, some of the behind the scenes things and shit like that. Just fantastic, and a fantastic story, very intriguing story the entire way through.
Yeah.
God of War had great moments, but it was a little formulaic. It's like,
sure,
you
kind of knew where things were going.
Exactly. They introduced the big bad. You knew that, like, I knew at the beginning that certain things were probably going to happen. I gave it like a 90% chance, like, oh, this guy's going to do this and this is going to happen. And blah, blah, blah. And, most of it came true. With Immortality, it just kept me guessing the entire way through. And I fucking love that, because I'm a big proponent of the answer doesn't stay, the mystery does.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone in my chat just put God of War is very Marvel movie-esque. I kind of agree with that in terms of the story.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. In a lot of ways. What do we got next? I think it's favorite ongoing. Now, the two of you, I don't know. I'm Zeke. I was thinking like, you might struggle with that. I don't know what you put.
I did struggle a little bit, but I hope this counts. I really do. Because I think Co and I might have the same fucking thing.
I think we got the same thing.
I'm going to reveal them both at the same time here. Let's see what we got.
Okay.
High five, dude. Bam! Yeah. Wait, I got to lean over. Okay, there we go.
There you go. It's Valheim. Breaking the rules. I like it. But ongoing kind of breaks the rules in general.
Well,
But
the
it
thing
counts,
is,
right?
it's like
Because they add
Oh, it counts,
expansions,
yeah.
they
It
keep
totally
going.
counts.
Yeah, okay.
game development is not what it used to be, where everything could be in a nice little cookie cutter. Like, oh, this is a buy to play. This is a pay to play. Like everything's different these days. Valheim actually follows a development path very similar to like an ongoing,
Sure.
you know, kind of game where it's they do like big content updates every couple years, and they kind of it's just like an expansion to an MMO almost. But they just dropped Mistlands. It was amazing. They're already hinting at other huge things around the corner. Like this last expansion was so good. Oh my god, they added so much cool stuff. So yeah, definitely. Not only was it great, but it's gonna keep being great. Hopefully.
Barry said
It's a game
Valheim
that
was the 7th
very
most voted in the category from the community.
seven.
Good job, community.
7th, yeah. What were you saying, Zeke?
This I don't know. It's probably not fair like to other games because this game
No,
is
I think it is.
one of the no for me personally because
Oh.
it's one of the only ongoing games that I went
Yeah.
back to. You know, I don't have an ongoing game like an MMO that I keep going back to, like Final Fantasy 14 or
Yeah.
WoW or whatever, you know, name an MMO. I don't have one that I go back to. This happened to be one that I went back to, and it pissed me off. And I was like, I am fucking done with this. And then I woke up and I went, I meant until today. I meant until I slept off my piss offedness.
So you play League of Legends too?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's funny when we did favorite character. Part of me was like, "What was JP maining in League of Legends?" Like
that was what I did last year with May. Yeah, that's how May got on there. For me, I play like Zeke. Sorry, were you finished? I saw you about to talk. I didn't want to cut you off.
People said TFT or Marvel Snap or whatever.
Those are ongoing games.
I like this better than those, and I haven't played TFT in quite a while.
Yeah. For me, I think like I play the most ongoing games here. PoE, Final Fantasy 14, Marvel Snap, League of Legends, Valorant, Destiny, like all of those. And out of all of those games, it shouldn't come as a surprise. It's once again, it's always going to be this. I'm forever simping for Final Fantasy 14. It's just how it is. It's a constant and it's a true. And I didn't even play that much Final Fantasy 14 this year compared to last year. I think I probably just clocked in 100 hours instead of several hundred hours. But if you look at like where everything else is, Destiny and League of Legends and Valorant and all that stuff, they're kind of a little bit below right now, specifically like Destiny, which I think I put the most hours into ongoing game-wise this year. It's not in a good spot. Hopefully that big update they got coming out in February fixes that game and helps that game out because the community's not happy. What did the community vote for? Speaking of them, maybe Final Fantasy. There is a giant community here, but
that's a go-to. That's a go-to.
It could be something else. Could be PoE. Could be Well, it's not Valheim.
See a lot of rock and stone in chat.
Oh, that would have been good. Nope, Final Fantasy. Barry says for ongoing, Final Fantasy 14 was ahead by 400 votes. There are around 150 votes each for No Man's Sky, World of Warcraft, Path of Exile, Destiny 2, and Valheim. Yeah, makes sense. World of Warcraft might show up, I think, next. Like, WoW's in a good spot. People are.
WoW's in a good spot, but it was in such a deficit that it needs a couple more good expansions.
Absolutely.
I think to start coming back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
From everything I've heard, it's on a good path, though.
It really is. Yeah. All my friends are talking about it, except for the race for World First.
But
they fucked that up.
If there's one company that could screw this up, you go get them, Blizzard.
It's true.
Get them.
It's true. Next category. Favorite multiplayer. Again, very interested to see Zeke's choice here. I think
I cheated on this one.
Co-cheated. Cheated how?
I cheated as in the game that I picked is not out yet.
That's fine.
Okay.
Doesn't matter to me. Now you got to reveal it. What game is not out yet and why? Okay. All right.
So good.
Makes sense.
Oh god.
You did play the shit.
Oh god, it was so good.
Yeah.
I haven't, dude. I'm playing Tarkov, and all I do in my entire Tarkov streams is talk about how I wish it was dark and darker.
I've seen that a lot.
God.
Funny enough, I've joined a lot of Tarkov streams, and people are just still talking about dark.
I sit in a 10-minute queue for Tarkov, and I'm like, this would have been 3 full dark and darker games by now. Like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
I was in a 15-minute queue last night, and it's just like,
Funny enough, not
Yeah.
the last time you'll see Dark and Darker on the show today. We'll see. We'll see what that means. Zeke, multiplayer.
I don't know
Biggest
if this
disappointment? No.
this has to count because you cannot play it alone.
Yes.
So this was the I played a lot of it. I've had fun playing it. I'm waiting until I get past the slump that I'm in to get to the top tier shit. Go ahead, reveal it. Marvel Snap.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely, that counts. Yep.
Yeah. It counts totally. Great pick. Great game. Came out of nowhere for a lot of people.
I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it as much as I did, but like the first, God, let's see, I'm like almost 800 now collection over or something like that.
Yeah.
And the first like 400 of those was so much fun. It was it
Yeah.
was just like even battles, like not a lot of trick shit. It was just like people constructing decks without looking.
Yeah.
Without like
looking at the meta.
metas.
Yep.
Yeah. It was like, okay, I'm gonna try this with this, and then this with this, and then you hit meta.
Yep.
And you're just like,
meta at 400.
Fuck, I haven't got the cards yet. Like I pulled a Wong, and I'm like, yay, Wong, and that's the only good card I pulled in the last like 10.
Yep. I get that. Zeke, I just hit collection level 3,400. I have every card in the game up till tier 3, and I got Bast, which is a super crazy tier 5 card. I'm at the top of the meta mountain, and let me tell you, it's good. It's great.
It's good.
I'm just up there
real
just
nice.
eating. I just queue up and I'm like, oh, look at your shitty little cards. Let me just play this card. Oh, let me just play that card. It's great.
You're exactly
great.
exactly the person that I come up against, and I'm like, I don't have 3 of these cards. How do you expect me to compete?
I feel so bad.
How do you expect me to compete with this?
I feel so bad every time I play because they'll play like, oh, here's Quicksilver with like default art. And then I play it, it's like, here's the rarest card of the game with like crazy random variant art. And they like favorite the card. I'm like, damn right you favorite that card because that card's fucking gorgeous. And there's a lot of money spent on that card. Just
wait a minute, favorite a card?
if you click a card in the game, you can put there's 3 little options you can choose, like a happy, an angry, and a star-eyed face. And so yeah. And so people like do that to cards they like or cards that
Does
make
it
them
give
angry.
you a better chance of getting them?
No. I'm talking about in-game. In-game, when you're playing, you can like click on someone's card or click on your card and put the star.
So you're basically, you tell the other player like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah. I get it a lot,
that a lot.
and it's great. It's fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely love it.
That's why I haven't seen it.
My game has a little bit of recency bias, I think, in the vote, but it's also just something that kind of across the year I've kind of fell back in love with. I think I fell out of love with one of their games, and this one I fell back in love with after playing it initially at the start. It's Valorant. I play a lot of Valorant.
Oh.
I always play
Yeah, man.
Valorant at night, off stream, and now the past month I've been playing it on stream. And it's just, if I had 2 to 3 people that I could play with every night, I don't think I'd play any other game for like months. I'd just play this game nonstop. I've been having an absolute blast, and it's always great. Even when it's bad.
I remember back when Overwatch first came out, and you were just gaga.
It's the same.
all
It's
the
the
time.
same thing. Yeah,
Okay.
same feeling right now. Yeah,
Better or just same?
at the moment, same. If I had friends to play with, because they're mostly playing Tarkov / Overwatch now for the most part, I think it would be a little bit better. It's just different. Like in Valorant, the OP characters don't necessarily shine through like they do in a League or an Overwatch or whatever, because the balance or the impact that a single character can have on the game kind of resets after every round, right? Like they're not just like building up, at least comparing it to League of Legends. They're not constantly just building. It's like, oh, round's over. We're all starting again with pistols. Good luck, right? And then after the swap sides, it's like, oh, we're all just restarting with 0 funds. Good luck. And so I've been enjoying that. Yeah, there's no snowball effect. That's a great way to sum up everything I just said. Thanks for making me look bad, chat. Well, let's see what the community voted for. I'm actually curious. Favorite multiplayer. Dark Tide, really? I thought people were down on this game, given the recent.
I think the big thing with Dark Tide is that people generally agree that it's a fun game that's not ready yet. It's like a
Yeah.
70. It's like an early access game that's supposed to come out at like the end of 2023. It's just not done.
Sure.
But it's fun. I'm there too. It's a fun game. Like it's a good game. It's just not done yet, and it needs more balancing and it needs much more optimization. But man, especially if you put the time into it, like it's a very fun game. You can do some cool builds. It's great multiplayer. Yeah, it's a good time, dude. Just needs more. Needs more, and it needs more polish.
Nice. Barry says this game was 200 votes ahead of Overwatch 2, Grounded, and Snap.
Ooh, Grounded.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because did that even pop into your head that Grounded's multiplayer? Because you played that whole thing.
Yeah, but
single player.
it would never have made my multiplayer because I didn't play it multiplayer. So like that wouldn't really been in the spirit of the thing.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people play Grounded in multiplayer, and apparently it was great. Worked really well. Lots of QOL for multiplayer too. So
yeah,
same with
good
Valheim.
stuff, man.
I forget it's multiplayer.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Happens. Get it. Next one is most disappointing game of 2022. I'm curious what the community voted for here.
Yeah. Let's go with them first.
Could be Callisto. Could be Overwatch.
Scorn.
Could be Scorn. Maybe Dark Tide.
Dying Light.
I think
Pokemon.
Scorn.
What if
Scorn,
Pokemon?
I think, is a big one.
Maybe Pokemon. That had some issues.
Ooh, yeah.
A lot of people in chat are saying Callisto, though, which makes me maybe believe that because these people voted. Let's see what they voted for.
I cheated on this category again, by the way.
Okay, a lot of cheating from Co. It's fine. Yep, Callisto. Okay, Callisto Protocol. Was that game really that hyped? I was completely devoid of any hype for this game. Co, you're probably the one most aware of the hype. Was it really that hyped?
Yeah, a lot of people thought that Callisto was going to be the second coming of Dead Space.
Okay.
So they were really hoping that this was going to be like the awesome new Dead Space that we all wanted because Dead Space was so good, but it was old. But unfortunately, it was not very polished. Some of the game mechanics were fundamentally flawed. It had the day one fiasco that turned out to be a clerical error, and even with that fixed, it wasn't great. And there was just a lot of parts of it that felt rushed and not joined properly. So, I mean, I had a good time in the game, but my expectations were also pretty low, and I certainly understand that it could have been significantly better. So, yeah I totally get some people's biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
It was one of those rare games that I have a wall calendar, and I put up my calendar what the release date was, and unfortunately, now fortunately for me, that was when I took my vacation. So I was like, when we come back, we're gonna jump right into Callisto Protocol, and I come back from vacation, and everybody was like, "Don't," and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And I was excited. I was like, "Let's get right into it," and they're like, "Don't bother," and I was like, wait a minute. Everybody's saying don't bother. Wow. Okay. Okay, true. I won't bother.
Yeah. Barry, do you happen to have how many people I wonder where Pokemon was on this list. Oh, we said Diablo Immortal, Saints Row, Scorn, Gotham Knights, Dying Light 2 followed up in this category. I think that's also just a great way to categorize our fan base. We don't play Pokemon. They don't play Pokemon. Yeah. That's not our fan base whatsoever. So makes a lot of sense. Most disappointing game. Co, you said you cheated. I'm going to reveal it. How'd you cheat?
I did 2, and then one of them was that's the big one.
Oh, this was the DLC that was supposed to fix everything, or what?
This was the DLC that was supposed to bring some of the Fallout 3 stuff into 76.
Okay.
And the thing that disappointed with this for me. Now, those that know me, I have had such a like-hate relationship with Fallout 76.
This is an abusive relationship you have.
It is. It's an abusive relationship. And the thing about this,
he said he'll get better. He said he's changing.
I know, exactly.
I keep coming back because I know he'll change.
Oh God.
The thing about this is what absolutely killed me is, I really was hoping okay, it's the pit, right? So the premise is that you get to go into these somewhat randomly generated little excursions into the pit, which was a Fallout 3 DLC, I think, New Vegas, 3 or New Vegas DLC. And it's like, okay, cool. This could be kind of like a roguelite thing. Get lots of loot. Could be fun. Like maybe I should do it. So then I actually play it. And they literally took like a cheap ass mobile phone game mechanics and combined it with Lost Ark's endgame and then put it in a boring, uninspired, like it is the
Wait,
most.
what do you mean Lost Ark endgame?
Low
Like
effort.
RNG ways to level up?
You go into the pit for an excursion. None of the enemies you kill have loot on them. And you have to get like a currency that you then spend at a predefined vendor. But it's like they took my loot out of Fallout. like what?
Sure.
Like that should be illegal. Like they literally made it just some bobo dumb, like literally the most basic, easy to design.
When did when did that come out?
I want to say early this year.
Okay. For some reason I don't remember you talking about it.
I think it was like early.
Like this rant is new to this. Like co-anger is like giving me life, and I'm kind of upset that we're just now getting.
No, I didn't talk about it because I
JP.
literally no. What happened was I started playing it, and I did one of the little events, and halfway through playing it, I stopped, and I was just kind of like mid mission, and I was just like, you know what? I think I'm finally done. I think this is it.
You just quit.
I think I'm done. And I just alt F4'd and I just went on like a 20-minute rant about how like this is literally the lowest of the low. Like this is they could not make this less Fallout if they tried. Like it is just the most basic, boring shit. Totally uninspired. Took all the loot out. I mean, the items you could buy were trashy anyway. Like it was so disappointing.
No,
that's what it was, man. It was not like a triumphant return. It was just like such a disappointment.
Also, real quick, did you use the term bobo?
Yeah,
I did bobo. Yeah,
I've never heard it. What does that mean?
That
bobo
language
just means generic and yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was
turn
something.
of phrase
Really enough, it was dialectal. It was a dialectical thing around the area I was growing up.
There you go.
But I've said it on stream and had people say the same thing. I've never heard that before.
But
no, all bobo means there's no reference, there's nothing. It just means just like generic and no, like just as vanilla and normal and just brand free as possible. So yeah.
Fallout 76, The Pit, most disappointing game, brought to you by Bethesda. Zeke, if you'll allow me, I'm going to break some rules.
Okay.
Most anticipated game. Co, are you okay if I reveal your most anticipated game?
Do it.
It's Starfield, brought to you by Bethesda.
Fool me once. Fool me twice. A fool be fooled again. Okay?
That's the
listen,
purest distillation of Bethesda fans, like right here.
Yep.
100%. No, but this is a totally different thing, though.
Thank you,
They
Zeke.
took
You
all
get
of
it.
the good people who made the good games and they put them on Starfield, and all the new guys or old guys that don't got it no more, they put them on Fallout 76.
Look,
Right.
I get it. I didn't know that was your most anticipated game.
Oh, I've talked about it many times. Yep,
It made
100%.
sense. Yeah, it made sense. So
The
there you
difference with
go.
this, I'll give you my actual reasons because we're here super
Sure,
quick.
let's do it.
I've seen this. I've seen the gameplay. I'm going in with
True.
I literally just want Fallout 4 in space. That's all I want. I like the little city building. I like the ship customization. If those things work, I'll be happy. I don't even need I know the combat is Bobo Skyrim combat. That's fine. I'm fine with it. As long as I can find cool guns and upgrade them and continue to do my Bobo Bethesda combat with those cool guns, I'm happy. I think I already pegged the story, to be honest, from the stuff. So yeah, like I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna get exactly what I want from Starfield. It's not a lot, but I think I'm gonna be happy with it.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Don't worry, we're going back.
Yeah,
to
we're
this.
going back. We're going back.
We'll come back.
couldn't
Yeah,
miss
this is
that.
this is just a quick segue.
Yeah.
He had to link those two because they're
Yeah. Makes sense.
have a link.
Guys, okay, for the record, the word pegged has multiple different meanings.
That's why when he said that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
That is commonly used here in the States to not reference what you think it means.
Well, I mean, okay.
No, it is.
Zeke,
It is.
your most disappointing game of 2022.
My most disappointing game. Now, here's the thing. It was Scorn for a second.
Oh, I was about to hit the
And
reveal.
then
The title's way too long.
but I was like, did I expect, like, because disappointment means expectations and what happened. Like, Scorn was like this. This game was like this. And my most disappointing game, I played it one time with you guys, is, go ahead, Nintendo Switch Sports.
Okay, I get that. That game sucked.
Really
fair.
I loved Nintendo Sports. Like all the Nintendo Sports games were so much fun. This game was such a fucking turd.
Yeah.
It was so goddamn bad. I expected to have fun playing this, and it was 3 or 4 of the same game and like one other game or 2 other game, right? It was like 4 games with a net that you
Why are we getting Fs?
But-
Uh-oh.
We good?
I didn't get any Fs on my stream. It always
did.
happens on your stream. Really? Barry?
Okay,
No Fs
all
for
good?
me. Okay. Weird.
Okay,
We're good.
anyways.
We're good.
But
Thanks,
the
chat.
thing is, the other sports games were so much fun. I expected this one to be at least that much fun, if not more fun, and it was not. Also, full fucking price game. Fuck you for that.
I forgot.
That
It's
is
60
horse
bucks.
shit. This game is $10
And here, look.
at most.
I'll validate Zeke's submission more so than he ever will. Zeke was good at Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it was.
Like,
Yep.
That's not very. I can't say that about a lot of things. But he was good at this game. He beat my ass at this game. I was the worst at that game by a landslide, and it did suck. It was absolutely dog shit. Don't buy that game. It's a lot. It was not the runner-up to the whatever the other one was called, Nintendo Wii Sports, I guess.
Yeah,
It's not that.
Wii Sports was great. Fantastic.
Yeah. Looks like that was a Twitch F. Everyone lost their badges and whatnot in chat. So
Okay.
Oh,
they're
shit,
coming
yeah.
back online.
Oh, there the badges go. Here we go.
Yeah, they're coming back online. For me, I clowned on Co for it. I mean, like, I thought it was going to be great. Because why wouldn't it be great? And then it came out and it wasn't great. And I had played it and I knew it wasn't going to be great. Like, I expected them to fix things and they just didn't. It's still the same thing. It's still over. People still play it. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to do it. That game's complete shit show right now. It's in a bad state. They took away a tank and then realized, oh yeah, Roadhog is broken. That's right. That's the thing that people have been saying forever. It still is. It's still broken. It still sucks.
I to take a look at it, and honestly, one of the things that had me do it was, I talking to you about it on this show.
Yeah.
I took a 2-hour sponsored thing for Overwatch, and I played it.
I didn't know you did that.
I did. And I played it, and I tried a bunch of different characters, and I tried some of the new ones. And when I was done, that was like, okay, your 2 hours are up. What do you think about the game? And I said, it's Overwatch.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the dev said, hey, you want to get paid to play more Overwatch? And I said, no, I would not.
It's been real interesting.
It's just like if there was like new stuff there, if there was more fun to do, like if I didn't even dislike the time that I played it. It was just there's a reason I wasn't playing it in the first place.
It's just Overwatch.
It felt exactly like the same game. It felt zero different.
There
was no difference. They wanted me to be like a partner and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to play more.
There's so many stories like the one you just told for yourself with so many other creators that I've seen on Twitch. One of my favorite.
1 second, guys. I'm needed. Give me
Okay. Nice. Happy New Year.
Enjoy, baby.
Watching Tyler 1 play Overwatch 2 is probably some of my favorite time spent on Twitch because it's fucking hilarious.
Cheers.
He'll sit
Happy
there.
New Year, gentlemen.
Happy New Year to you. He'll sit
Almost.
there, berate the game, talk about how dog shit it is, how fucking bad Blizzard is, just nonstop negativity about it. He's not wrong. And then after an hour, hey guys, welcome to a sponsored stream. We're going to be playing Overwatch 2.
Oh, nice.
That's
great.
He had
it's just fucking
he had
hilarious.
an epic clip going around where I mean he was just like, God, this is such a dog shit game. I mean, thank you, Blizzard, for sponsoring the stream today. Really appreciate that. Thanks for supporting everything we do here.
Yeah.
Like it was.
It's not, and there's so many like they sponsored the entire Valorant directory to play Overwatch 2. The top Valorant streamers were all playing Overwatch 2 for the week that it came out. And I think every once in a while they still do. It's just not in a good spot. I think a lot of us have the copium mask on, hoping that the PvE aspect that is, I guess, supposed to come out sometime in 2023 is good and gets people back in that game. But
that's,
we'll
it's
see.
interesting. At the end of my stream, I talked about how it felt like more of the same. And there were so many people in chat that were like, it's not Overwatch 2 until the PvE stuff gets here. Like that's the real release date. Wait for the PvE part. And I may try the PvE part. Like, I mean, if it's cool, if it works, like that could be kind of cool. But
yeah,
I'm certainly not like, expecting huge things. It's gonna be one of those, sure, we'll try it. It's not like, oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
I hope for their, like, they put, there are actually there are some really talented devs that work on Overwatch.
Oh, absolutely.
They are trying their damnedest to make it succeed.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like it's one of those situations where I feel like they need a win. They're putting so much work and time into it. Like, I hope they get a win. I hope the PvE thing works well.
I mean, they had one in that first week. Like the player count was, with it going free to play was
free to play
insanity. Yep. Like they got so many people playing that. I just don't know how many of them stuck around and are still playing today. So.
And then unfortunately, it had the free to play stuff came out. It was huge, and then like right after that is when the huge kerfluffle with the payment thing came out, and just not good, not good.
Did we
Very questionable.
Did we see what the community voted here? I don't think we have.
Yeah, it was Callisto.
Callisto.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, it was Callisto. Yep. Cool. Yep. Well, we go from most disappointing to most anticipated.
Honorable mention for Scorn, though, by the way. That was a real huge
disappointment.
Yeah.
That was big.
I figured that was going to be yours.
Still beautiful world.
It was close.
Like,
Yep. We know what Coz is. It's Starfield. Yep. I think all three of us will have varying.
I'm going to say it again. I stand behind it. Like, I joke as much as you want, man. I still, like, from what I have seen with my eyes, I think it could be an awesome game. Yeah. As long as they can pull that vision off, I think it could be awesome. I will copium that right into the ground.
Next year's, there are some bangers on the list. As long as nothing gets delayed, 2023 has got a lot of crazy stuff coming out.
Okay.
Fatal the Baptist has a great clip. This. Let's see how it ages.
Yeah, clip me right now. Absolutely.
See how this.
Ready? Here's your clip. Here's
ages.
a clip. I think that Starfield could be an incredible game, and I hope to be really enjoying it on the first day. I hope it works well and is not a buggy mess. I hope it runs relatively well and is actually a good experience. I have the littlest bit of faith in Bethesda to pull this off. This message has been sponsored by Co-Carnage.
There you go.
There we go. Okay.
There you go. Clip it, and we'll check it out.
All right. Ready? Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, of course. Like a fucking duh. Why wouldn't that be?
But here's the big
thing. That was a hard choice.
Was it?
Yes. Because Diablo 4, I'm very much in tune for.
Same.
And I know you motherfuckers poo-poo it nonstop, but Zelda's Zelda.
Okay.
Zelda's also coming out. There's also Baldur's Gate 3, which I thought was going to be yours. I thought that would be you kind of already know it's going to be good, though. You're not anticipating
Exactly. That's the big thing. For me, there's lots of games coming out next year that could be huge.
There's a lot, yeah.
The one that I feel is probably the most anticipated. I mean, Starfield has literally been being slowly hyped. I'll put it bluntly. Starfield's the next Cyberpunk. Starfield is the next Cyberpunk in terms of how many years people have been looking forward to it. It is the next Cyberpunk. It's going to be very interesting to see if it's going to collapse spectacularly like Cyberpunk. So like that's I feel like it's the next step. It's the next big one.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anybody in chat saying my answer, so I had to go and recheck to make sure that it was coming out in 2023.
Which is why you're here. I love this.
I am super surprised that no one is like as hyped about this shit as I am.
I got
Atomic Heart.
Can I reveal it?
Go ahead. Hades 2, dude.
Is that
That's next year.
That's next year?
Early access, yes. It comes into early access in development. Hades 2 early access sometime in 2023.
Early access is confirmed.
I'm gonna be honest.
2023.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't have put an early access on this myself. That's why I didn't see that. That's the only reason I wouldn't have said that. Because I mean, it's gonna come out in a future year, and at that point, it would be like,
oh fuck,
a big drop.
I fucked up then.
No, that's
just me though. These categories are all ours. Exactly. I cheated on like 3 of the categories. Tell me something, Zeke. Tell me. Do you have a one that is like dropping 1.0 next year that you're like?
Yeah. Was there a hard decision? Honorable mention?
Probably Baldur's Gate 3.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man. Spider-Man 2.
I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3 more so, not for streaming, but for playing like on my own.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 is looking to be one of the best CRPGs of like. I mean, granted, Owlcat is kicking ass and is in exile, but I mean, it's going to be
of the times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Nah, sorry about that, guys.
No, it's totally fine.
No,
I mean, hey, if we were doing EA, I probably would have like that's going to be amazing. Hades 2 is going to be amazing.
Yeah. There's a lot. Darkest Dungeon 2 also, I think, is supposed to.
Does that have a release date?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but maybe. Yes? Question mark.
That's I didn't look because I don't know if it had a release date because it's already in early access.
They confirmed Stalker 2 for next year.
Yep.
And Dark and Darker is they're saying they're shooting for end of next year.
I'm
Dark
telling you guys.
And somebody made the joke last night. They're like, "Are you telling me that Dark and Darker is going to be out before Tarkov?" It's like, yeah,
that's
from the looks
funny.
of it.
Yeah. I've seen a nonstop in chat. Silk Song. Yeah, I get it. I hope so too. We have no idea.
We'll see.
I got an email and I saw this. I had to Google this because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being scammed. I was, but I got an email that looked like rather official from like teamsilksong.net or something.
Oh Lord.
That was like, "Hi, we're getting ready to announce that Silksong is launching in January. Would you like to be a part of our blah 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 blah?" And I saw the email. I was like, "That's not. Is this real?" And I got real excited. Then I Googled it. It wasn't real. It was just a spam email that they sent to a bunch of creators. Happened nonstop to a bunch of other creators. But that's also a game that I'm super excited for. This was actually a really hard category for me because next year has so many like big titles that I'm very excited for.
I want to have this exact conversation after our top 10 lists. I'm gonna put a cork on that about games coming out next year and we'll talk about it.
And if we don't do it at the end of today's episode checks, we're out of time. We'll table it for next episode.
Yes, we can do. We can probably do a whole
Gate 3 for the VOD.
You know what we should? You know what? Next week,
you want to do a 2023 preview?
We should do a 2023 preview episode next week and just
go
down the list of every game coming out in 2023
and
go over thoughts about it. Let's do that. Let's do so and we can make that almost like a tradition.
I'm
Game
on
of the year
board.
episode and then what's coming soon.
The Drop Frames Coming Soon show.
Yeah.
Let's
do it.
I like it. What do you guys think the community voted for here? It's short.
Final Fantasy, probably.
Come on, Starfield.
It could be Starfield. It's short.
It is. You're right.
Yep.
Hey, my people. There we go.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, cheers to you guys. Tink, that's right. Yeah. Breathe that copium with me.
It's the Bethesda sense. It's true.
Just inhale it.
It makes
Dude, look at this. Starfield, Final Fantasy 15, BG3, Hades 2 is on the community vote list.
There you go.
So
okay.
Nailed it,
I'm
man.
all right then.
That was close.
Nailed
Yeah. Starfield was only 100 votes ahead of Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, Hades 2, Hogwarts. We didn't even mention Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah.
So like our 3 picks were like the top 3?
Starfield, Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, Hades 2, Hogwarts. Yeah.
And that was his honorable mention. So our top 4 were the top. That's great. That's really cool.
It's going to be a good year. Hopefully.
Also, just wanted to mention before we move on too much, I also am actually pretty crazy hype for Diablo 4. Like that is from everything I've seen and all the little features and things they're doing there. I mean, obviously the only thing that gets me worried is the monetization bullshit,
Yeah,
which I think could sink the whole launch, which
absolutely.
is just so frustrating. But the game itself actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that it's as cool as they're saying it's going to be.
Hopefully so.
Oh, Armored Core isn't next year. Armored Core isn't next year.
Yeah.
It's been just announced.
I
Yeah.
don't think it is. Moving along. Biggest surprise. This one was easy-ish for me. I don't think there was that many big surprises of the year for a lot of people. I think most people expected Elden Ring to do what it did. I think most people expected God of War to do what it did. I think I don't know. Was it hard for you guys with biggest surprise?
Not for me.
Oh.
I'm seeing it in chat, so I'll just go first. My biggest surprise of the year is everybody has been saying it, and I say it too. Vampire Survivors. Biggest surprise hit.
That's
Holy
true.
Shit. It doesn't look good. It sounds pretty good, but man, is it fucking addicting to jump in and play that for a little bit at $3.
Yeah.
Holy crap! What a game.
Yeah.
Real quick, before I do mine, I actually in my list with Barry for most disappointing, I actually had 2 games.
Oh,
And he put one of them up there. But I just wanted to throw this out there because I feel it's important to be mentioned. It's important to talk about. My second most disappointing game of 2022 was High on Life.
okay.
And that's because that game was funny, colorful, it was gorgeous, and it was fast. But for a company that large in 2022 to release a game like that without FOV options, make it so I had to literally use cheat engine and freaking executable DLL injectors just to make it so I could play it without feeling sick.
True.
That is a disappointment. That is bullshit. Like that sucks. It's like FOV in a game like that is an accessibility thing. That's like not putting subtitles in your narrative heavy game.
Yeah.
So that was a huge disappointment. Don't want to harsh a vibe, but I feel like that needs to be mentioned. Like, don't do that, devs. Don't do your games are cool. Let us play them and not get sick.
Noted.
Okay.
Noted.
All right.
What was your biggest surprise, Co? 2022.
My biggest surprise was Dark and Darker. I started that game. I passed a couple of the play tests. I was like, it's probably not going to be that it's not going to be that good. And then the last one came around, and I was like, okay, I'll try it a little bit. Okay, this is kind of cool. Oh, I can get right back into rounds. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, weapon stats are randomized. Oh, there's a trade chat. Wait, so all these different there's a skill tree. There's This game's fucking good. That was the progression. That was yes.
Dark and Darker made Ned Flanders say the F word.
I don't say it often, but I'll drop one for D&D. Which, by the way, I love that. That's the 3.
It's not D&D.
That's D&D.
It's not D&D. You son of a bitch.
But anyway, no. Dark and Darker, incredibly pleasant surprise. This game, I not only became like addicted to it, but it speaks so highly for a game when you only have 2 maps. You do the exact same thing every time, but it retains the entertainment value. If anything, it gets more entertaining as you continue playing it. I looted the same rooms literally hundreds of times, and I enjoyed every minute of it, seeing how different people learned their characters, killing noob characters, coming up against my own class and seeing how they reacted to me, getting killed by my own class and be like, oh man, I never thought to do that. Destroying 50 mages in a row and then having one mage completely slaughter me. And it's just like, damn, dude. Like, it's wild. It's wild how much this game has depth, has skill caps. And by the time this game comes out and it has like multiple maps and class arcs and all sorts of, like, this game's going to be huge. Game's going to be huge. So, Dark and Darker.
Still not the last time we'll see this game on the show.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it shouldn't really come as a surprise to everyone else, but Marvel Snap is my biggest surprise. It's the biggest surprise because I played this game in, I want to say October of last year when I got super early access to it. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. I get this. I understand this. This game's pretty fun. I'm enjoying it. And then I didn't play from like, I don't know. I didn't play for 6 months. The game finally releases and everyone starts talking about it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go back to it. And now, literally every time I stand up and walk away from the PC, anytime I go use the restroom, anytime that I have 5 seconds, I'm playing a fucking game of Marvel Snap. I just literally checked right now because 18 minutes ago, the new cards rolled over and I had to see what came into the shop for the daily. I'm that addicted. My life revolves around this game at this point. It's not healthy at all to be that addicted to something. But here we are. Marvel Snap, biggest surprise. This one was actually pretty easy. It came to my mind right away. I have no idea what the community voted for here. I've said that a lot, but do you have any idea what they would vote for?
Vampire Survivors. I saw so many people
You think?
in chat say it. I think it might be. I might take it.
It's
I can see it.
true.
I'm
It's
with
pretty
Zeke.
big in our
with
community.
Zeke.
Yep, that's good. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. It makes sense, though. I think this game definitely was huge in our respective communities and just the gaming community at large. It spawned a fucking, like, genre, right? Like, we've said that all year
Yeah.
long.
Auto shooters.
What is it? Is it Brotato, Zeke? I spent a long time playing
Brotato, yep.
Brotato on the Steam Deck. I haven't touched Vampire Survivors, but I played Brotato for a shit ton of time. So
Potato's great. So Survivors is great.
yeah, I've heard
There's a
ton
lot of
them.
different ones. If you like an indie version, like a super stripped down indie version, Don't Shit on My Roof is pretty fun.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't shit on my roof. Check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. What's next? Games we wished we played.
Did you guys pick one or was it multiple?
I picked one.
Okay.
I thought it was one. I thought.
Did
thought
you
that
do
was-
multiple? Yours is really short, so you might have gotten the shorter ones.
I think I picked a couple, but
Okay.
I have one in an honorable mention.
Okay. Zeke, yours is really long. What's the game you wish you played?
The game I wish I played is Stray. I wish I played Stray. I'm
What?
just kidding. I'm joking.
I was like, that's not short at all.
No, Plague Tale Requiem. I didn't play it. I heard it was
God
great,
damn!
and I never got around to it. Stray, whether it's good or bad or whatever, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's just fine, but it's a game that I don't regret not playing.
Yeah.
Plague Tale Requiem, I do regret not playing because I heard a lot of people say how great it was, and I never found the time for it. So, yeah. I
Okay.
wish I would have played that one.
Plague Tale Requiem is a great game.
Cool, I'm going to reveal it. I think you said you had multiple honorable mentions. Tunic. That's a good one. So many
I
people.
heard so many
Yeah.
good things about Tunic, and I just never sat down and played it. I want to someday. I heard nonstop recommendations, people that beat it and said it was great beginning to end. It just seems like a good game. So Tunic is on what I call my rainy day list. It's games that I know that I'll like, games that I know I'll enjoy playing, and if I ever get like big gaps like Tunic, Battle Brothers, stuff like that, and Stranded. But yeah, I've heard good things, and I can't wait to check it out. My
Yeah, what
honorable
else?
mention.
What else is there?
My honorable mention is a game that I tried to stream. And I tried to stream, and I really enjoyed what I did, but it is a super narrative heavy game. I was really enjoying my time with it, but my honorable mention was a game called Pentiment from Obsidian.
Mhm.
It seems very cool. I was enjoying my time with it, but it literally is all reading. There's nothing besides reading. And I tried to stream it for a couple hours, and I wasn't feeling great when I did, and it destroyed my throat because you're literally just between talking to chat and reading, you're literally just talking for the entire stream. And
I
it
just played it 2 days ago. I just played Pentiment,
Yeah.
and you're absolutely right. I played 2 hours of it. I didn't even get to any sort of mystery or
Yeah.
detective thing.
I've heard really good things.
The part
about
that I was getting up to it, interesting stuff was just there clearly is a lot there. And from the people that have beaten it, that I've talked to, they said it's cool. It takes a lot of twists and turns. It's very funny. There's lots of different ways you can go about doing different things, and it seems like a great game. So I hope to play it someday, but I don't know when or how I will.
Yeah.
I kind of
I
hope it's
hope
going to
that-
get what was it? I hope it's going to get the DOS2 treatment.
Dis-
Was that the game? Or maybe
Disco
Disco Elysium. I hope it gets a
Ah.
Disco Elysium treatment where
Just gonna say
hopefully
that,
it does well enough to where Josh Sawyer can go back and kind of overlay it all with voice acting. I think that would make it a must play
10
for
out
a
of
lot
10.
of streamers.
And by the way, if you're listening, I'm available if you need me for any characters in the game.
I
Go ahead.
go.
I
me
work
too,
for
absolutely.
peanuts.
There you go.
I want
Hit
to
'em
break
up.
into this, so I'll be cheap.
Hit them up. I'm going to reveal mine and then go into the explanation. Dark and Darker was my game
get
I
it.
wish we played. And here's why. I was on drop. Was that last week or the week? We didn't do a show last week. It was 2 weeks ago. It was right when Dark and Darker was starting on Twitch. Right when it was starting to blow up in their like most recent playtest. I played the game once, came on the show, said this game fucking sucks. It's dog shit. I hate it. I'm never going to play it again. We ended the thing. For the next 2 weeks, I watched Dark and Darker on Twitch from people like Co, Lyric, Sacriel, Soda Poppin', just like the entirety of Twitch. And I realized what I get it. I understand it. I didn't play it all there because I would have had to play solo and I didn't want to play it on stream and like bandwagon it. But man, people make it look fun. I hope I can have that much fun whenever it comes back.
It's FOMO, man. It's a FOMO element.
There was real big FOMO, yeah.
I got to admit, that's one of the things that got me into it too. I mean, I didn't play in the first Dark and Darker playtests. It was only this last one. And one of the big reasons was I saw my buddy Grims, I saw my buddy Sequisha, I saw Sacriel, and they kept going back to it and play. And most importantly, I saw them in some cases like, I'll never forget, I think I dropped into Sequisha's stream. And he's like, yeah, I could be playing Tarkov, but I'd rather play this. And I was like, Nani? Like, wait, but you love Tarkov. Like, okay, there's gotta be something here to this. Maybe it was Grims that said that. But yeah, anyway, it very much, you gotta get into it. You gotta let it get its hooks into you. And I think a big thing you'll like about it, JP, is the RPG stuff.
Yeah,
you start really
I saw,
seeing like the random rolls and putting builds together and stacking stats on different classes and stuff. Like it gets,
I watched probably 30 hours of it. I watched nonstop. I understand a lot of that game now, and I haven't even touched it. And so
February.
Is that when it's supposed to be coming back?
Absolutely. February comes back. And every time they bring it back, they usually add like big, cool new features and balance changes and stuff. So there'll be some fun new stuff in Feb.
I'll jump in.
I gotta say, I tried it for a couple hours, and it's the aesthetics of it. It's just not appealing to me.
Yeah. For me, the
way it
game,
looked.
I mean, it doesn't make a great first impression. At least for me, it
Very
didn't,
bland.
I should say. Yeah.
Very bland.
Yeah. And the other aspect of it, I went into that after just playing Street Fighter 6 and rage quitting that. So mental was just in shambles at that point.
You will spend your first few hours. You will spend your first few hours of Dark and Darker just getting your ass kicked, probably to NPCs. And let any
that already
person
happened.
you see,
Yeah.
any person you see will just kill you.
Yeah.
But like learning, a huge part of D&D is learning the distance, learning the weight and the slowness of weapons, learning where your weapon has to be on the screen to actually hit the enemy.
Right.
Like there's so many things that just take time. You just have to put in time.
Yep.
And then when it all starts clicking is when it starts like, that's when stuff starts really working, is when it starts clicking.
Yeah. For it, the allure is that it's Tarkov without the aiming. And like, that's kind of interesting.
Tarkov without the aiming with RPG elements.
Yeah.
Like it really brings in the RPG.
Yeah.
And also it's so much simpler. It's so much more
is.
approachable. Like I got overwhelmed watching Sacriel play Tarkov just a little bit. He opened up his inventory.
Oh,
and was
God.
mousing over weapon parts and talking about, yeah, but this one, you know, I don't really like the recoil on this, but if I switch this part out, then it'll soften this so I can use this ammo cache thing so the flux capacitor works better. And I'm just like,
yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. It's too much. I've watched a lot of it the past Tarkov the past like 2 or 3 days. Anytime I'm like excited when they get ready to kill someone, they get into a fight, someone dies. Oh man, that was great. And then they press Z, crouch down, and open up fucking Tetris in the middle of a like war going on, and I'm done. Like I lose interest.
Meanwhile, blue knife better than green knife.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They're just oh wow, it's got a fuel
that weapon
tank
has
on it.
54 damage. That one does 50 damage. Okay, I'm good. I'm good with this.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Games we wish we played from the community. Zeke, what were you gonna say?
Just real quick. Someone in Co's chat said, "I'm surprised Zeke didn't like the aesthetics of Dark and Darker because he plays a lot of retro games." That's the thing though. But retro games I can forgive for their graphical limitations.
Yeah, they're retro games.
Yeah, this is a new game that looks like an old game, and it's not I can't jibe with it.
To be fair, totally cool that you feel that way, but I think it's actually intended to feel like an old school dungeon crawler. If you look at the map,
I get that.
it's in like those squares, like the old dungeon things used to be.
I love
Like,
that, by the way.
Yeah, it's supposed to. I think it's supposed to feel like an old school dungeon crawler. I think at least that, or it's just
No,
low
the
end.
map system. That was the first thing I noticed when I booted up Dark and Darker was the map, and it reminded me of those old graph paper fucking maps I used to make for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Yeah, very much. Very much.
Yeah. The yellow like construction paper with like blue grid on it. Like, whoa.
That is a long game title that the community has chosen. Could be Plague Tale.
Could be, yeah, Plague Tale Requiem.
Empire Survivors again. No, everyone played that. It was like $3.
Oh, that
makes
Makes
perfect
sense.
sense. It's a PS5 exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yep.
And it also came out a week before Elden Ring. 2 weeks. It's very close to Elden Ring.
Yes, it was. It was 1 week to the day.
Makes
Before
a lot
Elden
of
Ring.
sense that that's the games that they wish they played. I get it. How many more? 2 more. We have our newest award categories for 2022. It's the Feel Bad Award, followed by the Feel Good Award. Now, this one perplexed the community.
Yeah.
This one was, I got handed a notepad file from Barry on this because it was very confusing.
Yeah, no, the
Also,
Feel Bad
what
Award
the
to
fuck,
me-
Zeke, at your title? What the hell?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's no, like the Feel Bad Award. Like I thought you had to describe a thing, a situation,
Oh God, it's a
or something like
paragraph.
that. Like a head, like it's like a
Okay.
newspaper headline.
Sure.
me. That's
yeah.
why- that's why I
mine was
viewed
a
it
game. I put mine as a game.
Oh,
But it
mine
doesn't
was a
matter.
moment in gaming.
Mine was an
Again,
event. This is one. It could be whatever.
It can be whatever.
Okay.
It's what
Doesn't matter.
it's what made you feel bad.
Mhm.
What made you feel bad? I was looking to see if me and Co's were the same hex string, but Zeke, can I reveal yours? I'm very curious.
Yeah, sure. The Feel Bad Award goes to Adriana Chechik breaks her back at TwitchCon.
Oh,
Oh,
that is a feel bad award. You're not
That is
wrong
a
about
very-
that.
that is
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that was terrible. That
Yeah.
we saw it. It got to be like we associated with it, that. It happened. That was terrible. That was awful.
well. I
When I
feel
saw
bad.
that, I was just like, "Ooh, no, oh."
I feel bad that I think me and Co are going to have games.
mine. No, mine's not a game.
Oh, yours is not. Mine is a game. Okay, then I'll go last. So we have some separation here. That is definitely a feel bad moment.
Way to bring the mood down. It's the Feel Bad
It's the
Award.
feel
What
bad
fuck?
award. That's
Literally
what
the
it's
feel bad
supposed to do. That's what it's supposed
If it
to do.
didn't bring the mood down, we wouldn't be doing it right.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
an
my feel bad
awful
award
experience.
was seeing somebody in the industry who had poured their life and soul into something be
Oh,
relegated by a scummy piece of shit kid trying to be funny with a dumb meme. That angered me on a visceral level. Like it was
feel bad.
so dumb. Like it wasn't even funny. Like at least do something funny. But like just some random like it was just so dumb.
Sure.
And most importantly, it moved the spotlight from where it deserved to be to where it didn't deserve to be. And that's what made me feel we should have been every moment of that should have been celebrating Elden Ring and its amazing accomplishments. And instead, it was stolen by some pissant little shit for his dumb, self-interested reasons. The kid probably didn't even play games. Like it's so frustrating, man. It is
Sure.
so frustrating. And then even the worst part, seeing people like Jason Schreier interviewing him and giving him more attention is just like
Yeah. Oh, there's
a whole
streamers
the whole
were talking
situation.
to him. Yeah.
He was rewarded for it. He was rewarded for it. For that act, he was rewarded.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Jeff. I feel bad for the Elden Ring guys. It was one of the worst feel bad moments for me of 2022 in the game.
Well, then Zeke, you did this right because I went for a game for the Feel Bad Award.
Okay.
But I guess I could. The reason that I went for this was not because the game was bad, but because of the implications that I think it has on the greater gaming community in terms of painting an entire genre as dog shit.
Mhm.
Diablo Immortal did so much disservice to the mobile world for what the mobile world could be and should.
No, that absolutely
like
is not a game. That is a thing that's an event.
yeah,
That was an event.
That
was an event.
Like man, just a weird thing from start. Like when you're watching this game came out and the biggest Twitch streams of it were not about playing the game. They had counters on how much money they had spent in the game. And that was the content, not the actual game. It was how much money they spent in it thus far. Like tens of thousands of dollars. And it, in a lot of ways, on this show specifically, where I'm constantly touting mobile games is like fun and enjoyable and blah, blah, blah. This game comes out and it's just like, yeah, but that exists. So go fuck yourself. I'm like, I can't. You're right. Like it's the worst of the worst when it comes to all the practices that exist in that world. And yeah, it sucks. They made their money and that's kind of that. I have no idea like the state of this game as of now, as of today. But I haven't seen that many people talking about it and I haven't seen that many people playing it. So hopefully it's not making millions a day. Probably is, but I hope it's not.
Someone in chat said, wasn't JP the one looking forward to Diablo 4? This is Co and Starfield all over again. Not exactly. Like I think
I see what he's saying, but not exactly.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it's a little they're being very transparent with Diablo 4, and it's transparently pretty shitty. But it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, in Diablo Immortal, the fundamental game mechanics were designed to pull money from your wallet.
Yeah.
In Diablo 4, they are encouraging you to do it, but at the same time, hopefully, it looks like you can still have a relatively good experience with just Diablo 4. Where in this game, it was fundamentally designed so you could not.
Yeah.
Essentially, like it was like a free player in Diablo Immortal was not having as much fun as a paid player. That's just what it came down to.
Yeah. Well, and you know,
but we'll see.
Another aspect of it is exactly what you just described. Like it tainted Diablo 4 completely. Like
and now we have to go into there going,
yeah.
Like even if you're excited for Diablo 4, you're still concerned about Diablo 4.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a thing. So I'm going to see the community. I have rules for this community vote. I'm going to hit show community and see what they have. Okay. Activision Blizzard, which was the community by far, raised many issues with Activision Blizzard in the community vote. Now, the notes that I have received.
So this was a write-in? People could write in stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much the same as last year, Barry says. Mishmash of thoughts around the Microsoft buyout and the FTC blocking of. That makes sense. Number 2 was Diablo Immortal. Number 3 was Horizon Zero Dawn being snubbed at the Game Awards.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Number 4, this is a good one. NFTs in games.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. And number 5, the former Rabbi Bill Clinton came in 5th. This feels bad.
Yeah, there you go.
By the community.
Speaking of that, I actually have something for that.
This is Bill Clinton, and when Zeke farts in my mouth, it really makes my day.
Nice.
Just wanted to let you guys know that. Interrupt the show completely.
Yeah.
Derail it for that little soundbite.
What is that? What do you have that for? Is that just a soundbite?
No, it's a no. I have a channel point reward that you can put your own soundbite on my sampler, and you can make that. There's a website that you can use celebrity voices to make.
Got it.
Whatever. Say whatever you want. Some celebrity voices.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Feel Good Award. The final category before we get into top 3 games streamed and then top 10 games. We're doing pretty good on time.
Yeah.
Zeke has a fucking essay again.
Yeah, it's just a sentence. Co's last thing could have easily been blank kid does this at the video game award.
I got
it. Whatever.
I got it.
Mine's a headline.
Okay. I went for a game again. So
go ahead. You go first, JP.
I go first? Okay, sure. We'll reverse it.
Wait. You got another F. Hold on.
Twitch is apparently effing a lot today. Unless
Yeah.
Barry's lying to me, which I don't think he is.
Well, it's not that he's lying. He could just be wrong.
Oh, might be. Might be.
All right.
Good.
It seems regional because it's happening to some people and not others. If it was for
Okay.
everyone, then I would be worried that it was Barry. Seems regional. For me, the Feel Good Award, kind of like how Diablo Immortal, everyone was talking about it in a bad way. I felt like it was one of the rare occasions. I think maybe this is not so true now, but when it was coming out, it was the rare occasion where everyone had nice things to say. There was no like, man, there was no negativity around Elden Ring. It was all just people touting how good it is, how much fun they're having, how exciting it is to be playing a Dark Souls game and not being fucking frustrated with a Dark Souls game. It was approachable by all. Everyone that I know seemed to enjoy it. And it was weird to see like just general praise for a thing within the gaming space. Doesn't happen all that often. And so that was very enjoyable. That was my Feel Good Award because it was a feel good moment, I think, for games.
Yeah. You know, come to think of it, I don't remember anybody like being overly negative about it. Nitpicky, sure,
Yeah.
but overly negative? Everybody seemed to have good things to say about that. Good
The
choice.
most negative I've heard about Elden Ring is people going, please stop talking about Elden Ring.
Yeah.
That's
about it.
And
That's about
I
it.
totally get that. Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Zeke, what was actually we're going reverse order. Your
Okay.
Feel Good Award.
My Feel Good Award, funny enough, happened at the same event, but really just the Game Awards this year. I thought the Game Awards this year was awesome. I thought
Yeah.
it was great to see a lot of devs get their DAP. I thought Christopher Judge's, although long, his acceptance speech was very impactful. It was just cool seeing everyone come together and the show actually being good. Like it was a fun, entertaining show, had big announcements, had a lot of people get some great recognition. Like overall, it felt pretty great. And more importantly, it's cool that we as gamers now actually have a good show like this.
That's true.
That's awesome. Like it's great. And I got more eyes than like the Oscars. I mean, that's pretty badass. It was great for Jeff. Overall, it was great for the devs. It was great for all involved. It was great for us as viewers. There were less ads. There were good announcements. There were some huge bombshells. Like it was a very feel-good show.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
very much
think,
looking forward to the next one. And
Let's check in on Christopher Judge still going at the podium.
nice,
Yeah,
excellent.
still up there talking about his speech.
He has now been going for 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
I think we've moved to his late teenage years, and he's going through his high school teachers.
It's very true. It's very true.
You get him, Judge. You get him.
He's
Zeke.
telling a story about being on the wrestling team.
Yep. Oh, also
my
honorable
feel-
mention, a bit more specific, Flute Guy.
Flute Guy.
You
That's
can't watch
true.
Flute Guy and not just feel phenomenal.
That was a
everything
feel
about
good.
that man is a gift from God. So
That was
a very
feel
feel-good
moment.
very
Yeah.
feel good.
Mine was during the Game Awards, very specific to me. I would say like
Oh,
the Feel Good Award was for like I what made me feel like super good and super hype. And my choice is Ken Levine is making a new game.
oh, true.
Like that made me feel like
Yeah.
super good. Like it's very specific to me. Like I knew something was in the works, but like I didn't know when it was coming out. And the fact that they revealed it, I was just like, oh, I remembered all the times I like the time I first played all the BioShocks and like, you know, the feeling that, you know, the just playing through the game and some of the moments in the games like gave me, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I hope this one's good. And you know, one of my favorite game series, and the person who made it is making another thing. So, and I've been waiting for a very long time.
Sure. Yeah. Good thing to get hyped for, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
Oh God. Okay, that's a long one here from the community. I'll show it and then I'll look over at the notes I was provided.
Come on, Flute Guy. Come on, Flute Guy. Oh,
What? Oh. The Game Awards, Christopher Judge's speech. There you go. The community enjoyed a lot of the Game Awards for a variety of reasons, according to Barry. A special highlight was to the speech that Judge gave. Number 2 was Elden Ring. Number 3 was Vampire Survivors. Number 4 was Dwarf Fortress. That is a feel-good moment for, I think, the gaming space. 20-year-old game. Developers needed some money for some health purposes, and I think they got it back in just 10x, 100x. That's a really good feel-good story there. This, I did not even consider this. Number 5, voted by the community. NFT and Web3 crashing.
That's the Schadenfreude award right there.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
the
good.
joy at the pain of others.
Good
right
job,
there.
community. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I missed in the Feel Bad Award, the dishonorable mention, as Barry called it, was Bethesda for a variety of things, but included their handling of Mick Gordon in the Doom Eternal soundtrack. Very true. That's very feel bad. The honorable mention for the Feel Good Award was the rise in accessibility in gaming. And that was mentioned by voters wanting to submit as a good feeling thing this year. That is true. That was across the board.
That's a great one. That's actually a great one.
Yeah. Community, you
Nice,
nailed it.
chat. Nice.
It's good. It's good.
Very nice.
What happens when I hit advance here? Do we go to top 3 games streamed? Okay. All right. Zeke put an essay as number 1. How do we want to... Barry,
How do your buttons go?
we can do it one by one. I think if I show together, that reveals the line. We could test that for number 3 if you'd like. Unless that reveals
Sure.
everything, and then we'll just have to talk about everything.
Okay,
It's better we test this now instead of top 10 games.
probably.
Top 3 games streamed. Number 3 for all of us. There you go.
Cool.
Yep. Dave. Oh, I almost put Dave Diver was like 4.
Yeah.
That game was so fucking chill. I'm on observation. Zeke, you did it. I remember you coming on the show talking about that nonstop.
God, that
Was finding
stream.
stuff with the chat.
I would not say that it's a good game unless I was streaming it. And fuck, that was so much fun to just watch chat go, no, it's that. No, that's different. No, and I was just yelling at him like, it's been that way every time we look at that screen. Shut the fuck. And just yelling at, oh God, it was so much fun. It was
Nice.
so much.
Nice. For me, it was just a game I never like chat. I think all of our chats constantly rant about with Hollow Knight. I played it like a long, long time ago for 10 minutes. It was like, I think Co said it maybe how I envisioned it. It was like, this is like all the other games that looked like this. That's what I thought. Then I played it through completion. Man, I'm on board. I'm Silk Song hype train, the conductor for it. I'm there. I can't wait for that. And I didn't even do anything in the game, or do everything in the game, I should say. Because that game gets crazy difficult towards the end of it for all the optional stuff. But yeah, that was my my top 3, or my number 3 rather. Dave the Diver though, super chill.
Dave the Diver, man. There are so few games that are as. There's 2 things about Dave the Diver that make it special. One is how chill it is.
Yes.
That game is chill. It is relaxing. The music is nice. The graphics are pleasing. You're serving sushi. You're hunting your fish. Like, it is so chill. And then the other thing that just kept blowing me away is how big the game is. Like, you'd think you get to like the end of something and all of a sudden like a whole new mechanic opens up, and then you get to the end of that, and then you get a new big main quest, and then all of a sudden you find an underwater city, and then it's like, oh God, and this has all the quests in it. And then it just keeps going and going and going. By the time I got to the end of early access, I felt like I'd been in that game longer than many full indie games. And they make it clear at the end of early access, they're like, oh yeah, this is like the beginning. Like, you got a bunch more coming. Like, get ready. And I was just like, I am so here for this. So I loved it. I can't wait to play it again when it goes 1.0. And it's just a very pleasant game.
What made it so much fun to stream?
Because everyone that came in either was like, oh dude, it's Dave the Diver, awesome. Or this was the progression. What is this game? Oh, this is kind of cool.
That's how you
The
got
next
me.
stream. And then next stream. Oh, I love this game.
Yeah.
Like every like so many people would come in and just be like, what is this? And then within minutes, oh, this is really cool.
Yep.
Like it was just such a chill experience. It was always like I did it my cozy streams, so like I do it to round out the day. Never had a bad or stressful time playing it. Like it was a very relaxing game. It brought a very relaxing audience.
Yeah.
And it was just an incredibly chill, fun experience.
Zeke, it's a very weird game to stream because everything that Ko just said is true and it got viewership. Like usually those things don't work in harmony of one another, but generally everyone that I saw played this game. All those things were true and it was a viewership spike from their norm.
I say the name Dave the Diver and I immediately hear that like that beginning little song when you drop in where it's like
oh, it's so chill.
Yeah, it's just like I'm hearing that in my head, just boom, 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 boom. So good. It's so good.
Dude,
you make some sushi.
Consider me influenced. I just bought it.
It's great. You're gonna have a great time with it.
Yeah, you're gonna. It's so chill, dude. It's so much fun.
Gassy Mexicans in the chat. He played that game a shit ton as well on his streams, and same thing. Loved it. Absolutely loves that game. And I didn't even get to the part that Ko has talked about where things change. I guess is how I would say that. I know what it is, but I didn't see that, and I still put 15 hours into it, 20 hours into it. Yeah. I think there's like 30 or 40 hours of stuff to do in that game.
It's not done. There's more coming.
It's not
There's
done.
more tech levels, more items, more NPCs. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone in chat just said I missed the best part. I played it for like 30 hours and apparently I missed the best part.
Well, it happens. VODs exist for a reason.
Thanks, Kate.
Zeke. All right, should we do a full line? You want to do a full line? Or do you,
sure.
Let's do another full line.
We've got an hour and 10 left, so like
let's do a full line and then go one by one on number one.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, full line. Number 2, top 3 games streamed of 2022 for us all.
Boom.
The Forest, really? I think that's the shocker.
This was a 100-month sub appreciation stream. Someone said, I want you to do video game RP, and I said, okay, and I'm glad Classy Pax is actually in my chat right now because I RP'd with Classy Pax and Milton T. Pike 1.
Yeah.
And it was fucking hilarious and fun. And this is what like I played a little bit of GTA 5 RP and it was cool. But this was a little bit more
focused.
What was it? Focused. Not there was only 2 other people to RP with. It didn't seem so like scattered, you know, where you go everywhere and you know you can do whatever. There's only 2 other people you have to interact with, and they were improvers like to the core. They were like to use a fucking acting schmacking term. They were yes-anders, and it was great. It was so much fun.
Nice.
I had such a blast playing it with those guys, and it was only one stream, but man, it was such a good stream, man.
Makes sense. Ko, anything else you want to say on Dark and Darker? I think that's the final time it'll show up on.
I think this is the final time for me. The reason
That's the word.
That this was a top game stream for me is because it was so much fun seeing people getting introduced to Dark and Darker for the first time, having the chat be there when we went on like crazy killing streaks or had good runs, having a constant conversation with chat about the best way to do things, the best type of gear to get, the best stats to stack. Like this was one of the Dark and Darker is one of those games that you really do play with your chat. Like the back and forth is palpable. It's not, you don't really, you know, it's not one of those things where they're just watching you play. Like it very much is going, you know, back and forth, feedback both ways. And it made it it took a great game and a great experience and just made it that much better.
Sure. Quick explanation for Valorant, though I don't think need much. Valorant's one of the few games where viewership is something that I don't care about while playing and pretty much forget that it exists. I interact with chat, but I don't care about the viewership that I'm receiving for said game. It's also honestly very, very low. But the fact that I can forget it, and yesterday, as well as several other days this past year, can stream like 6+ hours of it, feel like no time passed at all, and leave the stream with like a feel-good mentality, even if I've been losing. The rage doesn't really come over because the way that the game is structured. It's just a very simple, easy game to stream. And I enjoyed my time with it, and most likely will continue through this year. Let's do number ones. We'll do one at a time. Zeke, let's start with you. Let's start with the essay. What was your number 1 game stream?
Oh, it's just a really long title of a game.
Okay. I don't know what it
All
would
right.
be. Because you didn't play
Top
Plague
3 games
Tale.
streamed. My number 1 favorite game streamed is Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty.
That makes
Nice.
sense.
All the way through. Like, and then you didn't even play Snake in that one, right? That was the one that was
True.
fucking Raiden. And holy fuck, the entire way through, the ridiculousness of it. It's probably like slanted my view of like why it's like my favorite Metal Gear Solid 2, because none of the Metal Gear Solid games that I played this year for the very first time would not have been, they've been fun, but they wouldn't have been near as much fun without chat. And having chat there, just excited and participating and laughing with me and, you know, knowing what's coming and just being like, there it is. You know, like that kind of shit. Oh God, it was so much fun. Special big fat shout out to my boy Ty Martinez, who was my my VIP designated Easter egg hunter. I needed one specific person that I could trust, not so I didn't get one guide all the time.
Sure.
That would be there throughout the playthroughs, pointing out all the fun and funny Easter eggs, because it's deep. The Easter egg shit is deep on the Metal Gear games that I had no idea what was in store for me.
Yeah.
But man, I could have picked any of the Metal Gear games. I could have just said Metal Gear Solid. I could have, but if I were to pick one, it would be 2.
That
for sure.
That's a great point. I should have added that to my Hollow Knight conversation. Chat was like the game fact guide for that, because Hollow Knight is not a game that, unless you're the type of person that's going to wander around for like hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours trying to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do. If I didn't have chat there, I don't think I would have enjoyed that game whatsoever. Because it's such a like absurd game in terms of how you unlock different shit and where you're supposed to go and all that. So it's a great point there, Zeke. I'm also glad you played Metal Gear Solid finally. I wonder what. Yeah. I don't know what game series I want you to play next. I got to figure that out. That's the 100-month. I'm going to start the next saga. Final Fantasy 1. You're going to play through every final. No.
Love to. But not to use a code word, but like while playing the Metal Gear Solid games, the good vibes about these games and the understanding of how like just ridiculous everything can be, everybody was joined in on it. Like not even Kojima stands, they understand that it's fucking weird and absurd and ludicrous at times.
Yeah.
Like, and there was no hard feelings. Like I would talk shit, but there was always a coating of respect on it because it was fun as hell. You know, even if I couldn't follow most of the story and people were like, you didn't know that from get this game over here and this game back now. You don't remember that this guy is called 7 different names?
Yeah.
But there was always but there was always like, fuck it. You know?
It's true. It's true.
Had a good time.
I started thinking about games that I need to make. Maybe Final Fantasy 13-3, the potentially worst mainline Final Fantasy game.
You made a third one?
It's really bad. It's not good. Man, that might be it. Jesse Cox has a pretty funny run if anyone wants to go watch that. Ko, what was your number 1 game streamed of 2022?
It was amazing to revisit it. I always enjoy my time there. It was Valheim. Valheim is such a fun game to stream. I ended up building like 2 different bases, and the Mistlands was exciting. It was awesome experimenting and trying the different things that I could do. Chat is always so chill and gives great ideas and great suggestions, and it was a huge amount of fun. And the new content is just fantastic. It was so cool having no idea how to do it properly, and a lot of people in chat would have no idea either. So we would just have to like all figure it out together and try new things and test things and see what worked and see what didn't. And it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. We ended up beating the boss in Mistlands and made, like I said, 2 bases. And I can't wait for more content to go back and do it all again.
Yeah. I think that exact reason of not knowing what to do and where to go and how to do everything was the reason why my number one game streamed was Elden Ring, because you can never do that again, ever, for the history of time, because everyone's figured that game out. But
That's
man,
true, but I am so tired of hearing that game.
you're not wrong. It's gonna come back
that's
up.
awesome, dude.
It's gonna come
That's
back
awesome.
up. But yeah,
That's the only game in years I've done 3 runs of,
yeah.
like almost in a row.
And you did it
The
all at
game
the
was
very
phenomenal.
beginning, where people were still like not aware of everything in that game.
Yep.
So like figuring it out for the first time with chat and being astonished that like everything that Elden Ring was pretty fucking cool.
I want to play it again.
yeah.
Right now.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah. Start a new character without a doubt.
Yep.
Zeke, you played it offline, right? You didn't stream your Elden Ring experience?
I played it the first day because
Okay.
I got it early in the morning. I started way early when it just released. I think there was we got 2 hours before anybody else or something like that.
Yeah.
So I did that. I took advantage of that, and then
Or maybe it was 2 days. Might have been 2 days. I forget. It doesn't matter. Same thing.
but I streamed it one day, and I'm glad that I didn't stream it with I didn't stream it because there were so many, I didn't realize how many threads in that game connect.
Yeah.
You know, as far as other Souls-like games, this one had a central thing that all of the ancillary outer characters were pointing to.
Right.
And you could follow their strings into the middle of what was happening, the main kind of plot-ish.
Yeah.
If you could call it that.
Yeah. It was one of those games where if the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind device ever gets created, I'd erase Elden Ring and replay that annually. It would be a constant game that I would want to go back and revisit.
It'd be up there, dude.
Yeah.
Up there with BioShock and Outer Wilds for me.
I still haven't played Outer Wilds. Still have not dabbled.
Ooh.
And I haven't
not
had
for
it
everybody.
spoiled. I haven't had it spoiled. I haven't touched it.
Good.
I'm pristine. So maybe one day.
Listen, I tried. I was like, this is one of those games I wish I could erase my memory and play it all over again. And then I was like, hey, babe, you want to play this game? And she's like, I don't like it. I was like, try it again. I still don't like it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. All right. Those are our top 3 games streamed. We enter the final portion of the show with an hour left. Record time here. We're on pace. We're doing good.
Speed run.
Let's do what we did last year. We'll go one by one and do our 7 all the way to 3, and then we'll go back one by one and whittle the way down to number 1. So we're gonna do.
So
7
we're going to
games.
reveal all our bottom 7.
Yeah, and you can do them. It'll be an amount of talking one by one, and if you want a break, you can pass it on. I know some people want breaks, but Zeke, since you asked the question, let's start with you.
Okay.
Your games of the year. You tell me when. I'll reveal.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Well, I just want to reiterate that I had to I singled out 26 games that I played this year. I went through my entire list of games and all the games that came out this year, and I narrowed it down to 26, and then those were all jockeying for position. And I had to really ask myself, am I supposed to like this, or did I like it? Should I because this is the right choice or my choice? And finally, I think I came up with a list that was definitely 100% my choice. The ones that I liked.
Okay.
Unapologetically. So go ahead.
All right. Number 10.
Number 10, V Rising. I had a blast with that game. I played many, many, many hours of it, most of which were off stream. It was a fun game to co-op. It's one of those rare games that Katie and I both agreed that we liked it. I bought ourselves a private server for both of us.
Yeah.
So it would keep the world whatever. And I looked at my Steam
Played.
genre of games you played the most. And I shit on them so much, but I way played builders and like the base, whatever that, because V Rising counts as that.
Yeah.
That's not the point of the game for me. You build things because it, like, for me, it upgrades you, and there's always a goal. That's why I like games like V Rising and Valheim and shit like that, is not for the building aspect. The building is secondary. You have to have that to get to the next goal. And V Rising constantly had that list of your sortie roster, the shit like next person. All right, what do I need to fight this guy? Okay, let's go get the shit, build it real quick. It doesn't have to look pretty. And my base did not look pretty. It was a cluttered fucking mess that I had trouble getting through, trouble navigating. It was like a hoarder's house. Like I had little paths through the garbage that I could get, to one end to the other. But I finally did it. I played all the way through it. I got to the final thing that they had at the time, and it was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great.
I definitely would have had V Rising on my list if it wasn't still early access and qualified for our top 10.
True. It doesn't matter.
Dick.
No, but I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Yeah.
No, fantastic game and an awesome choice.
I can't wait to see what that game is when it's done. Like it already has 50 hours.
Game.
The next
I
patch
didn't even
of V
look
Rising.
to see if it was an early access.
Yeah.
No, the next patch for V Rising is adding Z building. So you can build stairs and then go up to another level of your castle, and then you can build like second floors and stuff. It's looking so cool.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Well, that's also like one of the mechanics in the game. It would really help for that mechanic that you can only build in such a big area.
Yeah.
They limit you.
Exactly.
So having it go vertical, it will be a game changer.
Yeah.
Big time. Pick a bad spot at the beginning, and it's like you're hosed for the whole time. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Zeke, number 9.
Number 9. This was a weird one. It's not for everybody, but man, it was really intriguing and I enjoyed it. It's an indie title. The Case of the Golden Idol.
Yeah.
The Case of a Golden Idol is a mystery point and click. It has really rudimentary art in it. But it's so super intriguing and the mysteries are very satisfying. And it's a detective game in essence. You get these basically still images of a scene of a crime, right? And it's set in 1800 something. So it's a period-ish piece. And you get these little vignettes, these little scenes, little tableaus of things. And you click on the thing and you have to put together the clues, and they are not a lot of times they are not straightforward. And you have to click on a character and they'll say something and it seems innocuous. And you're like, oh, they just said oh my God, look at the time or whatever. Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And then you'll find a book that says, always concerned about his pocket watch is Sir blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, fuck, it's that guy. And there's a lot of those moments where you put it together and you feel good. You're just like, fuck, I got it. I know who it is. And the way they set it up is that you can look at each scene and then they have a screen where it has on the left-hand side, it has the crime with blanks in it. And you put the blanks that you've discovered here and there, here and there. And they also have different for each crime scene. There's different other side things you can do, put the masks in the proper order or do that and it was just fun completing the thing, because sometimes you do you get the crime and you can move on once you do that, but it's so much fun to just fill in everything else. It's just a fun little puzzle detective game, and it surprised me how much I wanted to I kept going back. The other thing is it's modular, so you can solve a crime and then just leave it and come back, because a new crime it takes I don't know, it's hour to 3 hours depending on how difficult the clues are to fully get a crime, and then you go on to the next one, and they're all connected, by the way. It's very a little bit Obra Dinn-ish. It doesn't look like it, but it feels like that. You piece it together, and the satisfaction of doing that really hits you.
Yeah. Number 8.
Right. Number 8.
You tell me when to reveal. Let's do that.
Okay, you bet. Number 8 was it had a lot of problems, but even with the Twitch integration problems, man, I had a blast playing it, and it was fun. It's one of those games that's really fun to play with your community when it works. Cult of the Lamb. Number 8.
Good one.
Yeah.
God, it's so heartbreaking that it didn't work seamlessly, like when it first dropped the Twitch integration. That was such a big disappointment.
Man, I missed
However,
all of that. And I remember you
It
guys
was
telling me about it. It was
incredibly
wild.
frustrating. I felt so bad for those developers. Like it was horrible. It ruined their Twitch integration launch.
The reason why I not only with the Twitch integration, which made it super fun, but it was a full game. It wasn't like a like a Binding of Isaac kind of a game where you can play it thousands of hours. This had, a certain amount of hours and you beat the game, it was something I wasn't expecting, but I was very happy to see. It was like, okay, this is the final boss. Credits roll. Oh, thank you. Oh, good. And I had a blast doing it. And the management aspect of it was not too detailed. It was pretty straightforward. It was just like, hey, this guy, build more of this, do more of this, do more of this. Okay, now go out and adventure. But also the sense of humor in it was very cool when, the fucking one of your followers comes up and tells you to feed somebody a bowl of poop.
Yeah.
Like I can make a bowl of poop. I can make a bowl of poop and make him eat it. And you do that several times. And then the last final joke is kill the guy.
Yeah.
And they laugh and laugh and laugh.
It's really fun when your head mod is that person. And that's, that's, still can't believe you did that, Nor. Number 7, Zeke.
Number 7, you probably figured this would be on my list somewhere. It jockeyed for position a little bit, but it landed at number 7. Surprise hit of the year, Vampire Survivors. It fucking came out of nowhere, and looking at it, I'd be like, I don't think this game's gonna be very fun. Boy, was it! It was deceptively fun and deceptively easy to pour time into. And every time they had an update, maybe it's because of how they kept rolling out the updates, and it made it more fun because it was like updates, 3 more achievements, updates. You got 5 more achievements to get, and it was a fun thing to just spend an hour playing at the end of the broadcast. Like, we got time. We came to a good stopping place for our main game. Let's see what's new in Vampire Survivors. And people would tell me like, oh, there's a new Vampire Survivors update. And they'd keep going back, and it kept being fun and just unlocking everything, like the 100 and whatever achievements. Now, I don't know how many there are now, but there's got to be like 113 or 15 or something weird.
They just put out DLC for it, right? Like they're still.
Oh, did they? I didn't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just put out DLC.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the little $3 game that, popularized a genre of auto battling and all that kind of shit, and made me actually play games I normally wouldn't have, like Brotato and Soulstone Survivors and, name whatever, Rogue Genesia.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
It's $1 DLC, by the way.
Oh, it's $4 now, by the way.
Yeah.
It was $3.
That's just too much to ask for a video game. Jeez. Yeah. What is next? $70? Is that where they're going to go after 4? Good Lord. Wow.
Yeah.
Rough.
$5 with DLC now. So God. Ugh.
Number 6, Zeke.
Inflation's such a bitch.
Number 6. This is a game that only my chat and probably you guys never even heard of it, but fuck, it was funny. It was weird. The mini games were hilarious. I thought the sense of humor was in the right spot. My number 6 game, go ahead. Salamander County Public Television.
What?
It was a
I don't know if you ever talked
weird
about that.
Game.
I've never heard that ever.
It was a weird indie game I landed on, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. Like, it has these mini games in it that are like WarioWare, but with like
okay,
magazine
I do remember.
cutout.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
Yeah, and like one of the games was you see this dog in front of this huge vat of tennis balls. And there's a thing the prize at the bottom, and you have to stretch this dog's tongue to lick out all of these fucking tennis balls. in order to get this thing, and the dog's tongue just goes out, and it's like, it's super weird and absurd. But like, man, it hit me in a very funny way, and I just really enjoyed it. I played all the games and I got all the things, and it's one of those games that the dev actually watched me play it and saw like I had a valid concern or complaint about one of the things, and he was like, you know what, you're right, and he fixed it, and I went back and I played it again.
That's always great.
Because I couldn't. There was something really like either counterintuitive or not working properly or something in one of the mini games. I was like, man, that doesn't seem right. And he's like, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna fix it. And he fixed it and went back, and I got all the achievements in the game. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Fantastic. Number 5.
Number 5 is this was it was get compared to Portal a lot when it came out, and they're not wrong.
Oh,
It's not as good as Portal, but it's very good in and of itself.
Is it the one that involves
Entropy
time?
Center. Yes.
yeah. Okay. I
Um,
heard good things about that one.
Yeah. Number 5 was the Entropy Center. And it was intriguing. It was fun. It was mysterious. It had a certain amount of charm. It reminded me of Portal, but it didn't have the same, like, gravitas or whatever like that Portal had. But it was a great game, start to finish. I enjoyed the mystery of it. I liked the fact that when I thought I was done, I was not done. There was still much more, like, another 20% of the game left. I was like, this has got to be the final scene. Credits roll. Nope. Open up a new area. You're like, oh shit. Okay, we got more to do. Swell too. Swell. And it was good. It was just a solid, mysterious, puzzly, physics puzzle game.
Awesome stuff. Number 4. The final
number
game
4.
before we swap over.
Well, it took a while for there to be FMV on here, but you got your FMV right here. And this was a fantastically well-written. It's not what you think it is yet.
Oh,
Fantastically well-written game. Funny, weird, very British. Number 4, not for broadcast.
have you
Not. Go ahead.
have you talked? I don't know if I've seen this one. I'll look at footage to make sure.
Not for broadcast is a wonderful little FMV game where you play a television station
Prompter guy.
technician. I want to say a technician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that
Okay.
beats the live broadcast.
Yeah,
Whatever that's
the
called.
guy in the booth, basically, who decides what gets put out to the public and stuff.
Censor.
Yes, you beep the swears, you keep the cameras on the celebs, keep the audience satisfied. So there's like a satisfaction meter and all that kind of stuff. All while this story in the background comes together in this wonderfully dystopian way, where it's very much like kind of like V for Vendetta, like the way they talk to the people and the way they like try and get their message out. And you can choose, like, as the story progresses, you can choose whether to toe the company line or rebel. And either one is very, very fun to see. It's very well written. A lot of hugely funny, very Monty Python-esque moments. Like, you're watching a thing, you're like, okay, that's on the screen, and you're paying attention to something else, but what's going on the screen is fucking ridiculous and hilarious. So you're like, what in the fuck is going on? And then something breaks, and you're just like, shit! And you're like, I want to watch that. Hold on. Great. Excellent. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. People in chat are saying it's $10 on Steam right now. So
I played that one too. It's something special.
Yeah.
It's unique for sure.
cool
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. It's on deep sale.
Yeah,
It's
big sale.
$24.99 normally.
The old Steam sale.
Yep.
Co's going on. Co's unplugging wires. He's fixing the stream issues, the intermittent Twitch
right,
outages,
we're good.
regional. Okay. All right. There we go. Should all be good.
Oh,
Is
shit.
any
We're
more
good.
issues?
Yep.
What?
4 through 10 are all indies.
Yeah.
Cult of the Lamb. Triple I.
I mean, yes, yeah, that's a good point.
Triple I. I like that.
Yeah.
It's Devolver.
Yeah.
Devolver's
Yeah.
not indie anymore.
That's true.
I don't
Yeah,
play.
very true.
I usually try to avoid Devolver, Tiny Build, 505, Annapurna. Try to avoid those for indie day because they got a lot of money.
It's true. That's true. All right, Co, let's do your 10 through 4 for the top 10
Okay.
games of the year. You tell me when to reveal.
My 10, tons of time in it. Always had a great time playing it. I've come back to it multiple times. Empire Survivors. It was a solid game. I still haven't played the DLC. I'm looking forward to it at some point. And I still haven't done everything in the 1.0, let alone the DLC. So it's one of those games that's always fun to go back to. It's very enjoyable, and I had a great time with it. So thought it deserved a spot on the list on somewhere in my awards, and that's where I had it.
Awesome.
Empire Survivors. Next game up, a very fun game. I enjoyed how different it was in terms of still delivering on the genre that it did. It's a pretty unique game, but it was miles beyond their previous offering, and just in terms of quality and presentation. I had an awesome time with Turd Sifu.
Oh.
I knew it was
Sifu
4
was
letters.
I thought you were going to put
Yep.
Stray on here, and after all this time, you were just debating us that you're just a giant Stray lover.
I'm not.
Sifu makes sense.
I'm not. The next game up on my list, I'm just gonna rapid fire because
Okay.
the next game on my list. I loved the first one. I loved the second one. Phenomenal voice acting, gets me laughing from beginning to end. Still very interesting and has a lot of mind craziness in it, and an amazing ability to constantly have you discovering throughout the entire game, and that is not an easy thing to do. And that is AI the Nirvana Initiative. Game is awesome, and if you are a visual novel fan, I so recommend AI Somnium Files and the follow-up Nirvana
I forgot that
Initiative.
came out.
They're both
Yeah. That was
fantastic.
earlier this year, right?
They're such great games. Yep, they're fully voice acted. They're super easy to stream. They're funny as hell, and people like watching them. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Number 7. This is one that people outside of my community are probably not so plugged into. This was an indie game, a game that I actually backed on Kickstarter, like way back in the day. I liked the game, and then it came out, and I played it, and I played it, and I played it, and I played it, and my playthrough ended up being huge. It has an incredible amount of depth. Super fun game. It's one of those games that really rewards you for doing like all the optional stuff in it. It has deep management. It has tactics. It has good voice acting. It's got the whole 9 yards. And that is King Arthur: A Knight's Tale.
I forgot you played that game forever.
I played that game so long, and I loved it. And funny enough, they invited me. I voiced Balor in the expansion, and I haven't done the expansion yet. I need to do the expansion, but I play like the big God of Evil narrator character in the expansion. That's one of those I was talking earlier about the rainy day list, things that I know I'm gonna like to do. The King Arthur expansion is one of those things. What's super cool about it is throughout King Arthur: Knight's Tale, you are like King Arthur. Well, not really King Arthur, but you're the crew, the well-known people of the King Arthur saga in this like totally darker world. And you're fighting against this like ultimate evil. And then for the expansion, you play the ultimate evil. So it's cool. Like it's a very cool dichotomy, and I'm really looking forward to playing it.
Nice.
Next up, we have a return of my childhood classic. I loved it. I had such a good time with it. It was Return to Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Such a phenomenal game. I was very concerned that I wouldn't like the art style when I first saw the pictures. In fact, I was a little bit like, what are you guys thinking? But the thing about Monkey Island is that if you take a still from the original or even some of the remakes and you look at a still from the newer games, there's a huge difference. But the thing that makes the newest game so special is not necessarily just the art style, but the way in which they animate that art style. And that adds a level of kind of unbouncy life to it that you don't really get from the stills. And once I play through the whole game, it's the kind of thing where I can completely see the rest of these games being in that style, I wouldn't mind it at all. It ended up totally selling me on them, and I really, really enjoyed them. So Turn of Monkey Island was a home run in my book for many different reasons, but was definitely the 6th best game of the year for me. So
Nice.
we're
Number
back
5,
to 4-letter
Stray.
words.
No, that's far.
This is a game. This is a
Shit.
game
Fuck.
that I have played all the way through many times, and this year harkened its big 1.0 release. I love this game. It takes a formula that I like and just builds on it in a way that I really, really like, and that game is Raft. And basically what it does is it takes
I was
the
close with Fart. It has
survival-
the same letters.
You
Sure.
were very close.
Sure.
The thing that I love so much about Raft is it takes that kind of survival building genre that I love so much, but it then incorporates your base to always be with you. And that is so cool. It makes it so all that building and stuff you do, you're constantly rewarding yourself by spending more time building. It's not the kind of thing where you just build something and then you go off for 3 hours and then come home to resupply and go off. Like, your base is the center of your life. And it was a great game. I loved how the last patch put in like a full story with NPCs, tons of things to do. I think my Raft playthrough was like 40 plus hours. It was just awesome. So I had a great time with it. And speaking of that genre, the next game for me was very surprising. I did not think this company was going to be able to pull it off. I should have known better. This game ended up being one of the most QOL filled, like, cool exploration experiences. It had great building. It had great QOL. It had an awesome story. It had a beautiful world to explore. I enjoyed every single minute that I was in Grounded. And that was my 4th game. Grounded is just a phenomenal game. And since I've been gone, they have actually added so much more cool stuff that makes me very much want to go back. I thoroughly hope that Obsidian adds like DLC or expansions to Grounded, because I want more excuses to go back. And just the patches that they've done since I've been gone have added so many cool things. And they've made cool balance tweaks, and they've extended the inventory and like just all sorts of great stuff. So very looking forward to go back to it, and looking forward to the day that I do. And that is my 4 through 10.
Those damn spiders. I just, I can't. I tried. I think the clips of me freaking out with the spiders from Grounded got deleted in the VODpocalypse, by the way. I'm very sad about that, but also very thankful because it's not a good time.
A couple honorable mentions for me, by the way. Signalis was a super cool game. I love Signalis. That one almost got past Vampire Survivors.
Okay.
And then honestly, at one point in my top 10, I had Tiny Tina Wonderlands on there. I ended up, the rest of it kind of edged it out.
I thought that was going to be there, to be honest.
Tiny Tina Wonderlands
You love
for me
that game.
is the best Borderlands game. The humor for me
Whoa.
just hit home. Yep. Out
That's
of
a
all the
bold
Borderlands
claim.
games, all the Borderlands games, Tiny Tina Wonderlands was the most fun for me. And I loved the fact that it was still Borderlands, but had like actually new stuff on top of it. So I know people love, to hate on it. And no question, the DLC and extra content sucked.
Oh, it's
That
bad.
was very disappointing. It's not good. It's very thin, very light, especially for how much you're adding on. But it was still a lot of fun. And I loved my playthrough of it, and there's so much good humor in it. I was like in tears at multiple points throughout that game. So yeah, it was good. But again, didn't make the top 10. Just not quite good enough.
Yeah. I get it. I tweeted this out yesterday, but I will reiterate it here on the show. For me, this was a really hard top 10. After I got outside of like top 5, I realized I didn't play that many games this year. What I did instead was play a lot of the games that I played, if that makes sense. And it was difficult because I wanted to adhere to our rules here and put games that released this year that were not ongoing games. But I didn't finish 4 out of the top 10. 5 out of the top 10, actually. And I hope I can go back to them, but some of them are just super long. So with that all said, we'll jump into it. Number 10 was a game that I put on here, and it was probably because I played it with you guys, is why I enjoyed it so much. I also had a bout of Schadenfreude with it because it caused Zeke to get therapy.
There it is. Yeah, okay. I was wondering, like, do I know this game?
Turbo Golf Racing was a game that we played a lot of. And I played a lot of it off stream. until I got so frustrated with it, like Zeke did, that I had to put it away for a while. And I jumped in every once in a while with the late shift when they were playing and stuff like that. But yeah, that game's great. I'm kind of perplexed that it didn't take off as much as we thought it was going to. We definitely thought it was going to boom.
I think they just kind of put it out there and were hoping it would, but honestly, like it was a spark that needed some help.
Yeah.
And I feel like the help just wasn't really there. Like they didn't do any PR stuff. There were no tournaments. There was no
It was on Game Pass,
streaming
right?
of it. They just kind of put it out there and let it languish a bit, unfortunately, which is too bad because that game is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yes, like real therapy. It was a blessing in disguise for old Zeke's
actually
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the New Year's Eve watch party last year, and Zeke, we just watched Scott made a playlist for us, and that was on there.
It was on the clip. The clip was on there.
It was like a little minute clip of me going. So I went to therapy because of this game, and they showed the clip of it, and I was like, because I was out of control and I needed something to help me control my rage.
Yeah.
So yes, I went to real therapy.
Yeah.
Not because of the game, but just it was the straw.
They should have put that on like the front of the box. Like
Will
causes players to go to therapy.
Oh God. Number 9. This game I talked about pretty briefly. And for me, it keeps the VR hope alive. I would say this was probably the biggest VR game for my interest this year. And if you have VR and you haven't played it, you should, because it does some really interesting things with VR and with, just games in general that I haven't really seen. It's called The Last Clockwinder. And essentially what happens in the game,
you talking about this. Yep.
is you walk around and do stupid movements, and then you tell it to stop recording your stupid movements, and then you step away and the thing does this on a loop. And that's the game, is just making automated loops to do things within the world. And there's multiple worlds, and it's very, very good. If you have VR and you haven't played it, definitely check it out. It's worth your time. The next game, Zeke's going to go, I think he's going to get a drink. The next game for me was one, funny enough, Zeke's not here to hear this, but he's the reason that I played it, which doesn't happen all that often. So I'm glad he's not here. He talked about this game. I think he played it on Indie Sunday recently, earlier in December. And I was looking for something to play on the Steam Deck when I was traveling. Oh God, he's back, and I didn't finish it. Zeke, I just said I played this game because of you talking about it on the show, and that doesn't happen all that often. Chained Echoes is a fantastic fucking game. It is a single developer that basically made a love letter to Chrono Trigger, and man, did he nail that game. It's one of the games I haven't finished. I think it's about 30 to 40 hours long, and I'm maybe 7 to 8. Systems are just slowly, constantly being revealed.
You didn't stream it at all?
No, I did not stream this game a single bit.
I get people asking me to stream
It's a fantastic
all
game.
the time. You should totally consider streaming it.
I might. It's good. It's also very hard, and I've been told it gets harder. The combat system is very unique if you haven't checked it out. It's essentially a Chrono Trigger love letter, solo developed. It's very well done. The story's a lot of fun. If you want Chrono Trigger with mechs, you should play it. There's mechs in the game.
There's mechs in it.
Yeah, there's mechs in the game. And it's on Game Pass. That's also another good point to mention there. That's Chained Echoes.
Still available on Game Pass. Yep.
Yeah. I bought it on Steam so I could play it on deck because I didn't want to go through the whole hassle of yada, yada, yada. But yeah, fantastic. It plays well on deck. Yeah, it plays
just real quick, the reason why I left is because I hate seeing someone drink alone.
That's what I figured.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Got some Fireball. Cheers.
There you go.
Tink.
Oh, other way.
Other way.
Side. There we go.
You're not going to meet.
We're not close enough. We're close enough. There we go. Phantom cheers.
Fantastic. Number 7 is a game that, funny enough.
Yes, I did just buy Chained Echoes for those saying in chat. Yes.
It's on Game Pass. You didn't have to buy it.
Too bad.
You should buy it though and support the solo dev.
How dare you support the developer?
Yeah. Number 7 was an odd game for me. I have a weird fascination by really bad games that have great gameplay, but have awful dialogue. And this game, more than any other, was a game that I just enjoyed playing.
Awful dialogue, you say. I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
You have
and
my interest.
now I'm nervous. I hope this game came out this year. I think it did.
Uh-oh.
I played it so much though with all the DLCs that maybe that's why I was clocked in here. I'm gonna reveal it, chat. You tell me. It's Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Did that come out this year? Or was that last year?
All I know is I'm here to kill chaos.
Chaos is fucking great. And it's stupid. And I've watched okay, chat's saying this year. Whew, panic attack.
Okay, cool.
I've watched so many people play through this game, and they all react the same way that I do to the dialogue and the cutscenes, because they're fucking awful. They're so bad, but they're so bad that they're good, and they're a lot of fun. And if you want to watch a character just be an absolute piece of shit to people and have them like pour their hearts out, and then him just look at them and go bullshit and walk away, then you should check out Stranger of Paradise. Yeah, and then listen to
Put on
Limp
headphones?
Bizkit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, listen to
man.
Limp Bizkit as well. It's just an absolute shit show. And it has a ton of DLC. And I've played all the DLCs thanks to sponsored streams. And I still haven't actually gotten to them because I'm stuck on the first DLC and they paid me to do the second and third DLC, which I didn't even play. And they said they were okay with that. And that's an odd thing. But really, I think it is a perfect encapsulation of what that game is. And
How long is it?
if you don't play on the hardest difficulty, 15, 20 hours maybe for the main story. But the main story is also the DLC. Like the story continues in a weird way. I think you would like it though, but it's like Neo Final Fantasy.
Well, see, I don't want to play it for the challenge. You said the dialogue is awful, and that is right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of gameplay in between the dialogue. There's like
Damn
story
it.
missions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's only on Epic.
That's why
as
Metal
well.
Gear was so great. It
Yeah.
was a fucking weird ass story with like a little bit of game.
Chat could probably
Here and
carry
there.
you could probably like pick the right class and get through it. Anyways, number 6 is a game that I did not finish. I streamed, I want to say about half of it. I was surprised it didn't show up on Co's list. I'm curious if it was an honorable mention because I think you finished it, but I don't think you enjoyed the ending, if I recall correctly. I'll reveal it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but great things about the rest of that game, and I stopped halfway through due to just viewership issues for myself.
Ending sucked.
Okay. All right. Okay. Co says don't finish it. I might go back though. It's also that
Honestly,
this-
I think it's the kind of thing where we didn't get the real ending. Is what I think.
really.
I think it's
You think it's
yeah,
DLC?
I think there's going to be a DLC or expansion, and I think that it's
There will
going
be
to make
DLC.
the ending of the actual game make a lot more sense and be a lot more.
Okay.
Still worth playing though. For the record,
Here's
Like,
the thing.
the ending is not bad enough to where I would not recommend the game. It's just it definitely feels like it's not the end of the like it.
I get what you're saying. I understand. That's not my issue.
I want to go
with the
into it
game.
more, but I don't want to go into it more. Go ahead.
My other issue with the game is the fucking Switch sucks so fucking. God, it's the worst fucking. It just runs so fucking bad. It's so
Really a
awful.
It's really a shame.
And I didn't want to restart my 50-hour playthrough on the Switch too.
Games like I'm gonna say it. Games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. 2 words. Deserve better.
Yeah.
They deserve to not
Yeah.
be locked to that airy ass hardware.
Absolutely.
You
Deserve
fucking
better.
entitled gamer. You think you deserve
No.
something?
Here's the thing. No, it's not.
Absolutely.
It's not. Though. Okay, let me give you a good comparison. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is to the Switch what VR is to Meta Quest, where the hardware is so bad it pulls
Yeah.
the quality of everything else down. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 could have looked a lot better, and most importantly, could have run better. There are times in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 where you are panning around a normal level, and it's like trying so hard to keep up. Or it's just it's not that the Switch hardware sucks, is that they're trying to do too much with the Switch hardware. Like the Switch is fine for a
Yeah,
mobile system, and it
that's
does
good,
most of what
yeah.
it wants to do just fine.
Yeah.
But a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is clearly too much for it. It is clearly over trying, which is the same thing that happens with the MetaQuest. They're restricted to that hardware. So VR companies will say in interviews, we wanted to do a lot more, but we couldn't due to the blah 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 blah. So it's that kind of thing. It's when the games suffer due to the hardware they're limited to, the player loses. That's what it comes down to.
I agree.
And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a perfect example of players losing because of that.
I agree. That's why it's I probably would have finished it. It would have been higher on the list for sure.
I'm not playing Bayonetta 3 until it's on something.
Yeah,
something
100%. Yeah, I agree with that too. Number 5. This game, it's a weird thing to credit a game for being too long. But this game, for me, was too long, and I haven't finished it, and I put 40 hours, and I'm only halfway through it. But man, does it hit all the right parts of everything else. Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Yep, there it is.
is just too much game in that game. Which is that's a streamer thing to say for sure. But it's a very good game.
I agree with you, man. There's such a thing as overstaying your welcome in any game. In any
medium.
game.
I mean the gameplay loop is fun and it just offers that over and over and over, which is fantastic. But for like as a streamer, it's just I couldn't play any more of it on stream. I wanted to do something else. Was the only issue there. I hopefully will go back to it at some point, whether on stream or off, because I got to see what happens. Apparently, there's some new additions to the Blade Book Club later on in that game, and I have to see how that ends up.
Oh my!
Yeah, very very interested to see what happens there. But yeah, that's number 5. Still pretty good. Number 4. From here on, I finished all these games, and these were the ones that I knew would pop up on the list. I just didn't know the order. This one, I think, is a game that it got overshadowed, just like the first one did. Hopefully, the DLC comes out and people revisit it later this year and actually go back and maybe play it for the first time because they didn't. But there's so many things to say about this game that are good about it. For me, it is still state of the art. It's still top of the class. It's still the go-to thing when you talk about cutscenes and animations and graphics and faces and how to do all that. It's Horizon Forbidden West. It's unbeatable in that regard. And I don't know when it will be bested. I'm very curious to see when that happens. Because it's remarkable.
At the risk of like semi-spoiling my top 3, like Horizon's Forbidden West is not in my top 3. It's not in my top 10.
Yeah.
It started like when I had my 26 games that I was saying before, it was like in the number 6 or 5 position. I'm like, man, this is, and then I really thought about it because I played it on my own. I played it, off stream or whatever. And I really thought about it. Did I have more fun playing that or the Entropy Center? Okay. Did I have more fun playing what? And it just kept going down and down and down. And I was like, so it was like number 11 or 12. It's like an honorable mention for me. Like, I wanted to love it so much, but something about it didn't have the charm of the original. And I think the original was like number 2 or something like that when it came out, when that one first came out. Just was lacking something for me. I don't know what it was, but yeah.
No. I get it. I just can't get past those cutscenes. Like, they're remarkable.
Oh, it was number 1. It was my game of the year that year. Okay.
There you go. Our top 3 remains. How are we doing this? One by one, line by line. We know 2 games at least for a lot of people's list.
We have talked a lot about, I think, most of the ones in the top. I agree. Line by line, personally. Yeah.
Line by line.
The thing is, like, people are like, "Oh man, I saw someone in a couple of chats." No, someone in a couple of chats going like, "Man, these lists are so different." And I'm like,
wait till the top 3.
Yeah, top 3 probably not that different.
I would say I have one game that is not on y'all's list. Within my
Mine
top
too,
3.
I think.
I think. I don't know let's do line by line, I guess. Zeke, you good with line by line?
That's cool.
We'll talk
Let's do
about the X factor in each line. All right, our number 3 for our top 10 games of the year. Oh, sorry, Barry sent me something right as I said that. I thought it was important.
Okay.
You can't
It's
do
always
line by
important. It's from
line.
Barry.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Here we go. Okay, yeah. I figured Immortality was going to be there. I didn't know where Horizon was going to fall for Co. I know you really liked the story. And then Marvel Snap was a late addition.
Here's the thing. I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. I thought it was a great game. I had a great time doing it. The only thing that stopped me was Elden Ring, and I probably would have done all the side content in Horizon, but Elden Ring came out, and then I did 3 playthroughs of that.
Yeah.
So I thought Horizon was pretty fantastic. I thought all the side content was good. I've already gushed about the voice acting and how realistic it was. The world was beautiful. The sound design was amazing. Horizon, the top 3 for me are total package games. Games that deliver in every aspect. And in my opinion, Horizon Forbidden West, everything about that, there's nothing bad about it. Everything about it is good.
Yeah.
And some of it is great, and some of it is excellent. But it's one of those things where it doesn't lack in any department. The only place that Horizon Zero Dawn lacks, and honestly, I think that it cost it substantially in the public view, is the fact that it's an exclusive. The fact that it is a PlayStation exclusive, I think that's great for Sony, but it sucks for Guerrilla. Because a lot of people were like, why did they get snubbed at the Game Awards? Kind of why. That's probably your main reason. It's the one thing that the other 2 big names had over it. And sure enough, it showed. So, yeah. Great game. I wish more people played it.
I think we all agree. I think our top 2s, I think we all know what they are.
I think you can probably just go.
Just reveal
them.
it. Just reveal
Don't
it.
even worry about it. We know what they are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
It's
just
not even
do it.
close, dude.
And I know exactly why it's in the place that it is for Co. There's number 2 for everyone. And there's number 1 for everyone.
By the way, everyone said God of War is also an exclusive. You're exactly right, but
it's also God of War.
I was like, wait. I was like, what is he gonna say? Perfect.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. I'll cheers that.
Yeah. Look,
Cheers, bud.
these were the games of time in a lot of ways. Co, I think God of War for you resonated because of the dad stuff, right? Like that's why
God
I
of
pushed
War
it.
for me, again, it's the total package. It does. There's God of War. The only downsides of God of War for me were that there were times in the story I was actually a little bored, but I knew the good stuff was coming, so I could get through it with a smile. And there were times when, sometimes the camera and combat was a little bit cheap. But 99% of the time I was engaged and loving it. 99% of the time in the combat, when I died, I knew it was my fault. It was just the voice acting was great. The story was a lot of fun. Some of the reveals were like really hit you in the feels. The dad and boy stuff was phenomenal. The stuff that they did with kind of like they kind of played with the mom angle a little bit with Kratos, and there were so many interesting relationships that I felt in a lot of ways the first one didn't have.
Yeah.
That honestly, I like God of War Ragnarok significantly more than I did the first one. And that alone is crazy because, I mean, it really is, to put it bluntly, just more of the first game. But I feel like they took everything that was good about the first game and just kind of ran with what really worked and kind of buffered some of the parts that it wasn't the strongest in.
Yeah.
And they came up with a phenomenal end project that I think is a total package.
Yeah.
For the record, though, I want to say, for me and Elden, I mean, it was like
interchangeable.
God of War is like
interchangeable.
99 and Elden Ring is like 98.9.
Here's
it was
thing
tough for me. I actually went back and forth like 3 or 4 times.
The thing that like pushed me over the edge for Elden Ring, and Zeke, I'm curious for you as well, was God of War definitely made me emotional in the storytelling, but I'm not romantic about it when I'm talking about it. Right? Like I don't romanticize my time with God of War. When I think about Elden Ring, I'm like, it's the same thing like baseball. Some people just lose their shit over baseball, right? Or talk about with Elden Ring. I'm like, man, did you see that? What? And then you can talk to someone about their build. Oh yeah, I fought this boss with that thing, and then did this thing. And then if they tell you they used the giant beam, then you call them a fucking piece of shit, and they didn't really play the game. Or if they use the mimic tier, then they're like, oh well, you're a mimic tier user. You didn't actually play it. Like you just get into it, right? You have strong, passionate feelings about that stuff. And I did use the mimic tier, and I did use the giant beam for one playthrough, right?
I had an entire playthrough as a mage. It was
Yeah,
the cheapest
it
shit
was
ever.
so
I didn't
fucking
die
strong.
a single time until like 4.5 hours into
It's
my run.
great.
It was great.
It was so fun. And then you have
Oh,
the
man.
stories about fighting the harder bosses in the game, and everyone's got like how they the great retelling of their fight and how they had 2 Estus flasks left and they want like all that stuff. It's a game that I think, and the reason that it won is God of War is the sequel to another game. Elden Ring is its own thing, and it will always be talked about as like, man, Elden Ring's not going to be topped. I'd be very shocked if they did an Elden Ring 2. If they did, it wouldn't be remembered the same way as Elden Ring.
I will be baffled if they don't.
And they
It's
probably
Three
will.
Dark Souls.
They probably will, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they
it's
love
kinda
that shit.
but yeah. So Zeke, for you, why did Elden Ring win out over God of War? Was there any specific reason? And then we'll do a community vote and wrap up.
I honestly, I went and I thought back to playing the games and what did I look forward to? Like, what did I wake up going, man, I get it. Oh, there's still more to do. And Elden Ring, without question, every time I was done with the stream, I'm like,
Gotta go play.
let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
God of War, slightly less, just very, very little bit less. Still happy, but I could put down God of War. When I was in Elden Ring, it was like the calendar pages going flip, just like tearing off and like floating gently to the ground. It was like me with a fucking Rip Van Winkle beard going like, oh, I just gotta keep going. I'm almost there. Like
it's true.
The only thing for me, man, it didn't have that story element. It didn't have the human element.
Sure.
That's the reason it
had the gameplay, but not the story. I get that.
Game of the year for me is like the total package. And Elden Ring, in my opinion, they make the conscious decision to do it, and it's fine and it works. But it didn't have that emotional side that I feel like God of War delivered on. God of War was more rounded in the department, where Elden Ring was really, really, really good at what it did.
Yeah.
It didn't really have that side of it.
I get that.
I talked about immortality earlier in the show. That's why I'm not like expounding on it right now.
Yeah.
But just suffice it to say, immortality is a FMV. Her Story. If you ever played Her Story or saw it, it's that kind of game where it's a discovery of the story on your own terms, kind of a game, where you get pieces. Like if a story is a line, you'll get pieces from the end, the middle, the beginning, as you go in whatever order. It's in an order that you discover for yourself, kind of like Outer Wilds. You can get pieces of the end story before you get pieces like the second piece of the main story, or whatever. But it was just really well done, really well laid out. But there was no gameplay. I think that's why it lost out to God of War and Elden Ring, because it was a magnificent story, a wonderful mystery, but it was just point and click.
Sure. Yeah.
Shout out to chat, by the way. I was talking about Elden Ring not having that emotional thing. I don't know. Spending a week on Millennia Blade of Mikkel is pretty emotional.
Look, they just didn't use the
Not
mimic.
wrong.
They didn't use the mimic and Kamehameha. You can just one shot.
Oh my lord.
Easy peasy. Let's talk to the community here and go through the top 10s, because I do want to be aware of time.
And I have to go in 8 minutes. That'd be great.
Oh, and to speak to what you said, Ko, about the story, I liked the storytelling in Elden Ring in the same way I liked it in Immortality and games like that. because you kind of have to like find it and piece it together.
It's different. It's like it depends on how you define story, but Elden Ring is all about lore, like world development and lore, and
True.
having to kind of go out and find it, which is not discounting it. It's just it's very different.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I enjoyed it too.
Community.
Cult of the Lamb, number 10.
Number 10, Cult of the Lamb. Number 9, Dwarf Fortress. That's awesome.
Oh, that's a great one.
Stray. I don't know if that was for
There
the
it
meme.
is. Hey, it didn't get snubbed, guys. There it is.
It might have been for the
Didn't get
memes.
snubbed.
Grounded, number 7.
Yeah, there we go.
Midnight Suns, number 6. Good,
Wow,
good job.
that's higher than I expected.
Dude, people love Midnight Suns. If you,
Wow,
you're
I
into
gotta
it.
play it.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That is very high.
Hey,
Number
what?
5.
Number
Wow.
5?
Wow, weebs out there represent. Number 4, Vampire Survivors.
There we go. Okay.
Number 3, Horizon Forbidden West. Number
Nice
2, God of War.
Hey!
And that leaves number
there you go.
1 with Elden Ring.
Elden
Boom.
Ring.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Okay,
Makes sense.
now that we're at the end, I'm gonna JP say that thing that we said before the show. This is the first year in a Drop Frames Game of the Year show where I had my big list of games. What I do, my moderator helps me out. She gets all the games I've played that year in a giant list, and she gives that to me. And then what I do, I have a system. I go through all the games, and the ones that I like, I think are Game of the Year quality, I pick out and put in a second list. And every year, that first list is 20, 25. I think the biggest one was like 31. This is the first year when my initial Game of the Year list was under 10. My first glance at the games this year, my first list was under 10 games. And I had to go look back through it and be like, okay, let's pull a few more out. 2022 had some of the biggest hits we've seen, but overall, not a big year.
It was lopsided. Summer had
it was
nothing.
it was very, very heavy in some departments, but just like we had some pretty bleak months in terms of games that people wanted to be good and weren't, or games that were pushed back, or like it wasn't the biggest year. Next year's going to be very interesting because a lot of the big games that were supposed to come out this year got pushed to next year. Yeah. So it's going to be next year could be the opposite, where it's weighted the other direction if we don't see a lot of games from next year get pushed back.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, Co, what on your list, what games didn't make it to your initial top 10?
The games that didn't make it initially, I didn't know about Vampire Survivors. Okay. And AI the Somnium Files wasn't on the first one, and neither was King Arthur. But then as I fine-tuned it, like I started to like really kind of like what you did, funny enough. I was kind of like, what games really brought me joy? What did I really just enjoy? And then I started thinking about, again, that total package thing and what games really offered it. And that's when I started building out my list. My final list was like, I think it was like 14 or 15. But generally my final list is like 20 to 30.
Yeah.
So it was a very different experience.
I remember specifically asking the two of you, like, can we do top 5 instead of top 10 this year? And you both said, Co even led, I think the argument is like, no, I usually have so many games.
I normally do. I absolutely normally do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I think we should keep it top 10.
No, we should, 100%.
One thing I love about these lists,
they're different.
Especially from 3 down.
Yeah,
they're totally different. Like we cover a lot of different bases in our likes and dislikes, which I think is one of the reasons this works so well.
Barry added them all up, going from 10 to 1. So number 10, Entropy. 9, Raft. This is cumulative. 9, Raft. 8, Midnight Suns. 7, Not for Broadcast. 6, Grounded. 5, Immortality. 4, Marvel Snap. Horizon Zero Dawn at 3. God of War Ragnarok number 2. And the Drop Frames Game of the Year was Elden Ring.
There you go.
Wait a minute. Go. What was that list?
That was the list of taking all three lists and giving all games a point value based on where they are in our list.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he also, if you go to dfgoty.com/results, you can see all of our results.
Also, final big shout out to Barry for like handling
absolutely
all the back-end tech. This is, 90% of what you're seeing and what you've been seeing today is thanks to him. And if you voted, that was all through his stuff. So
yeah,
GG, man.
Barry
all worked great. All worked
Saved
great.
the day.
Since Coach shouted out, I want to give a shout out to my boy C. Stringard, who did the same thing and did a fucking phenomenal job putting every single game I played.
Oh yeah,
318 of them.
that's a
Yeah, on a fucking
Nuriel
calendar
as
for
well.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Nuriel. Nuriel did the same for me. Really appreciate it.
my mods. I think.
And then next
have
week,
that
we'll
in
talk about all the
JPedia.
stuff that's coming.
Yeah, that's gonna be next week's show. To wrap it up, we'll do our 2023
Get a big list
preview.
together.
Yeah. We've got, I think the list, I think that already exists over at JPedia. We'll just have to pull up trailers for it. It should be easy enough, but everything's,
There are
yeah, we have
so
upcoming
many bangers next, like this year. It's this year
upcoming
now.
games. We got them up on there all the way through August, everything that's been announced. So that's next week's show, and that's going to do it for the Game of the Year show. Go do some shout outs because I know you have a heart out. And we'll let
Absolutely.
You go.
I got to go. Big thank you to all of you guys. Huge shout out, of course, to JP, Zeke, and all the people behind the scenes that help make this show what it is. My name is Ko. Hi, I'm currently playing Baldur's Gate 2. We actually just got Baldur's Gate 1 done. I'm currently midway through a Baldur's Gate 2 run, and it's been so much fun. We're going to be doing that and Escape from Tarkov as we move into this week. We've got the Dead Space at the end of the month. We're probably going to be doing a Dead Space franchise playthrough. We've got a lot of things coming down the pipeline. A lot of old games. Let's work in January since January's kind of dead. So we'll have to figure out some fun stuff to do then. But anyways, always thank you for watching. If I don't see you until then, see you at the end of the year for the next Game of the Year list or next week for our big coming soon show. Thanks for watching.
Awesome. Whoa, intro. Hey, we didn't
Bye,
go back
everybody.
To that. We didn't go to that scene ever again after 3
Going
hours.
right into another show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyways, Zeke, you want to do some shout outs?
You betcha. First and foremost, thank you to Ko and JP for being the co-host of this for yet another year and another Games of the Year show. My name is Ezekiel. Thank you for watching. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out on Instagram and TikTok if you want. Man, what a fun year! What a fun show! I love doing these every year, seeing all the choices. I love being surprised by things, and it was a surprising year, surprising list for me personally. Watching everybody, like watching Ko and JP's list come together. I bought some games because of you guys. Thank you. I was
Nice.
influenced. You can. I will be broadcasting tomorrow. Well, I won't be broadcasting, but I'll be doing my TTRPG show 100 Club on twitch.tv/tablestory starting at 1 p.m. Pacific time. A Cowboy Bebop inspired role-playing show. But I'm sure a lot of you are super excited, and I am too. Beginning of CD-Ramathon. What is this? Is this our 4th or 5th? I think this might be the 5th annual CD-Ramathon. For the entire month of January, I played nothing but CD-ROM games. And last year it worked, and I'm going to do it again this year. It's going to be my choice, then the audience choice. You will vote on, the audience choice game. So that's what it's going to give. My choice, your choice, my choice, your choice. All throughout the month of January, nothing but CD-ROMs. I got a new fucking OS, or I downloaded 2 brand new Windows 95 and Windows XP completely clean ISO OSs for my virtual machine, ready to rock. So I hope to see you on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Thanks, Zeke. Chris, take it away. Okay, still.
he's finally wrapping up.
I think he's
That's
getting
good.
ready to. Yeah, I think he's getting ready to. All right, the joke.
He's getting played
is
off.
over.
Yeah, I think. Okay, there we go.
He's done. He's done. Hi, hello, thanks everyone. Both of you, Barry, all the mods, everyone who helped send us all lists. I think all 3 of us have an incredible community of not only viewers but moderators and people to help everything along for these shows, so that what was a lot of work back in the day, it's not so much work now, which is awesome. And we can put out these shows with a lot less stress. So huge shout out to everyone who helps with all of that. Like I said earlier, you can go check out the results over at dfgoty.com/results from this show, or you can just watch the VOD. It'll be up on YouTube over at youtube.com/itmeJP later today. If you want to go back and look at all of the Game of the Year stuff from Drop Frames, all the way back to 2015 is when we started doing those. You can find all of our results, whatnot, over at jpedia.net in the tabs section. The mods have gotten all that stuff together. You can see where I voted Game of the Year to Overwatch. Man.
Ha!
Yay!
Man. Rough. Anyways, tomorrow we got MCU Crew. We're getting back into the swing of things in the new year. We'll be talking about, I think, Agent Carter Season 1, if anyone's going to be joining us, myself and Jesse Cox and that bronze girl for that. Wednesday, we continue Last Call for Adventure. We'll be setting up crew number 2 later this month with a brand new cast of folks. You can check out lastcallforadventure.com for more information on that. And then just normal streams. Probably going to be returning tomorrow, or I guess Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably continue doing some night streams of Valorant on the channel and figure out whatever this year looks like for me as a content creator in terms of the daily streams and whatnot. So we'll do all that and more as we continue on next week with Drop Frames. We'll do our 2023 preview show. That'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern. Check out those VODs over at youtube.com/itmeJP, or you can grab them on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Music, all that stuff. We'll get this VOD uploaded if you're waiting to watch that in record time, and we'll get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year, everyone. We're out of here. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. Keep dancing, Code.
I will.
Are we getting new dancing
this all
emotes?
night.
Oh, God. New year, new dance. Good luck.
Trying to seduce chat. Working.